station. We are now live. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah, there's times when the Discord's popping off at night and I'm trying to go to bed, but I'm like, I'm going to miss so much if I go to sleep right now.
Yeah.
So I'll stay up in the Discord for a little bit more, just chit-chatting with everyone.
Hello, everyone. We were going to start with the pre-show, but then we were all here, so we're going to start with the actual show.
What he means is I was actually here on time.
I mean, I wasn't going to single anybody out.
Wow.
Oh, thanks for the gift subs, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, I got one. Who's all here?
I think everybody's here. We could do a short pre-show, though, if we want to make sure.
Well, I mean, my only problem right now, you're not going to like this, is I didn't realize we were going to start right away. So I may have started a game of Legends of Runeterra.
Well, then we should do a pre-show.
I got to do my dailies.
Why wouldn't we start right away?
Well, I saw Pat was in a game.
Oh, they ended right before you got on.
Oh, it said you were still in.
No,
on my end.
Oh.
So,
well,
I can talk and play. I'm playing it. I can talk and play. It's not a big deal.
Can you talk and do your week and play at the same time?
My week is going to be short and sweet.
All right.
I can't guarantee it because one of y'all will always.
I'm not going to say shit the whole time.
We'll take it down a path.
All right. Well, let me do the intro real quick, and then we'll do Andrew's week. If he's so positive, he can knock it out.
Andrew in Discord, but I know everyone else can see him.
Why can't you see him?
I don't know why I can't see him.
That's really strange.
Yeah,
you can see him on the stream, though, right?
I can see him on the stream, but I can't see.
Do I need to leave the call and come back and see what happens, or do you need to leave?
I probably should be the one to do it. Okay. Oh wait, now I can see you. Never mind. Just kidding.
That's really weird. Band's still giving out cool gift shows. Thank you.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of excitement on the show because somebody didn't get City Cuties.
Look, man, it wasn't my fault. Okay.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
Hey babes. I'm Andrew.
You got it. You saved it.
And I'm Pattrick.
All right. Andrew, while trying to play a Legends of Runeterra game, I tripped over that. Don't worry about it. How has your week been?
Busy. So, without talking about what I do for a living, where I work.
You mean out at the waste processing plant?
Yeah, I forgot about that. We used to work at an umbrella factory.
We sure did.
On the last channel, when we worked together, we worked at the umbrella factory.
Oh, I missed the umbrella factory. And Leonard. Do you remember Leonard?
Yes.
What? Okay, not to we're super derailing right away. Why did we do that joke? Why wasn't I willing to just out myself as the editor? What was the purpose behind having a fake editor?
I don't know. It's funny. I like it. It's funny.
Leonard was our fake editor back on the previous channel when we worked at an umbrella factory.
Nice.
Andrew confirmed for Hitman.
For Hitman.
Oh, that's all right, Artaka. You're here this week. That's what's important.
Throw it on the grill. Well, no. The best way to hide the body isn't to throw it on the grill. It is to eat it after it's already grilled.
That's how you hide the evidence, right? You invite the police over to feed them the murder weapon, which is the cooked leg of lamb that was frozen when you used it to kill your husband.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew, how was your week?
You're so right, man. That's fine.
We started to derail immediately. So, yeah, I've been busy, but based on where I work, this time of year is super busy
A lot of waste.
for what I do. So I haven't got to play like a whole lot of anything. I've just played a little bit of my usual stuff.
Yeah.
So, of course, I have to throw out a Rockin' Stone for Deep Rock Galactic again.
We're gonna be like 3 years from now, 200 episodes more of the podcast, and Andrew's gonna be like, "Yeah, so Rockin' Stone."
Rockin' Stone. See, I feel like I can't stop now. Like, I feel like I have to say it.
Yep.
It's like an honorable Rockin' Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an honorable. Because some weeks I don't even play it, but I still say Rockin' Stone on the podcast.
Look, Your Honor, all I'm saying is Rockin' Stone.
Rockin' Stone. He just puts his hand up. Fuck all! This man was innocent. I wish that's how it worked.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
I knew Carl.
I knew Carl. Oh man.
But yeah, so Deep Rock Galactic, or Rockin' Stone, or Rockin' Freedom, as some may call it.
How about rock and roll?
Not
Oh,
Rockin' Rollin' Stone. Something
What
that I say on
about
the game.
Rockman and roll?
No, that's Mega Man.
Yeah.
We care about Mega Man.
Oh, I care.
That's why I don't have Mega Man Legends. sequel.
Proto Man, and Mega Man, and
Proto Man Legends.
I wish
Yeah,
somebody mod me.
that would be
Mega
awesome.
Man Legends with Proto Man, and I'll pay you. I'll pay you.
Do what? You'll pay me for
To
what?
mod Proto Man into Mega Man Legends. Heck yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Let me get right on that.
See, this is why I was like, "There's no way you'll be able to do your week and be distracted by Legends of Runeterra."
No, we're just talking.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do every week. We're just talking. But so then I played some League, which I think everyone on the podcast knows at this point because I play League with y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I didn't buy any new skins yet because I haven't had a new character. Yeah, emphasis on yet. Because there's not a character that I've fallen in love with again yet, outside of my Pike Thresh Nautilus, even though Nautilus is banned every game because Adri hates me. So I can never play Nautilus. But that's fine.
We should specify we have a Discord.
We do.
It is one of the few things. We don't lock a lot of things behind the Patreon, but it's one of the few things that's locked behind the Patreon. But if you want to come hang out on the Discord and play some games with us, link to the Patreon's in the description down below, and you only have to put $1 in a month to be able to get access to that Discord. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to us troll 7 days a week, me and Trey troll, you can
There's
do
a lot of good stuff in there, like memes, food,
butt stuff.
I mean, everything.
Yeah, everything you could ask for.
Recently, I got unlimited power in the Discord. It's great.
No, I don't like this at all. The moment I saw it, I was like, oh no.
Oh.
Unlimited power.
That's not how you're supposed to say it.
Power.
Unlimited.
That sounds like a character, but I don't...
That's Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, that's what that was supposed to be?
I am the Senate.
Unlimited power. What's more surprising than banning your own allies champ? You would know, Joel. Oh. So yeah, no skins yet.
No skins yet, but I played one match of Bard.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I had to stop in the middle of the match and come back like way under level. Then our lane's tower was already dropped and everything, so I messed up. But I'm going to play some more Bard. Another support champ. I did play one match of Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Indeed. A wise choice. Could play one match of him, and I did terrible because he has no escapes.
You just got to learn him. You got to figure him out.
You just got to keep
Jim, I was beating myself up in Jim, and Jim was like, "You just learned them." Indeed, a wise choice.
Heimer's fun.
It brings me such happiness that y'all are enjoying.
I quit playing. I uninstalled.
No, you didn't.
Just now. I uninstalled right now, live on air.
Yeah, of course you did.
I heard his mouse click.
He's going to be playing with us right afterwards.
No, there's new 14 content I got to do.
You were
No, I did the MSQ. There's a bunch more. I got to unlock that new open world instance.
That sounds cool.
There's a war going on, Pat, and I got to win it.
By yourself.
Well,
Solo queues as Cogma.
So
no, I would never. I literally would never.
I will never solo queue as Bard because it relies on your teammates knowing what you do.
Do you know how often people leave Cogmas to die instead of making sure they can get away? It's a lot.
Then
I get to explode on people.
All right, Sarah McLaughlin.
Do you know how many Cogmas are left to die?
we need to move on because Chad is going into some interesting discussions.
Whoa, hold on.
Chad has taken a turn.
I'm not going to comment. I wanted to comment.
That's okay. Chad's doing it.
The only problem I see with Bard, and this is a big one for me, is the skins. Okay. There's an astronaut Bard skin where he has little UFOs and aliens, and that seems awesome. But he has a Bard skin.
Where he's a Bard?
Where he's a Bard.
Nice.
Yes. And I'd have to buy both of them. Swap them out. So that's the only problem with him. But other than that, I played some Legends of Runeterra, as you may know at the beginning of this podcast.
Yep.
Right, I completed one of my dailies. And then I played a little bit of Fall Guys today.
Yeah.
Before the podcast. It's a fun little game.
Yeah.
I'll play more of it. I don't know how much I'll end up playing of it. I mean, I like it. It's just, I don't know if all my time's going into League and Legends of Runeterra and everything. So I just don't know if I can fit another game in there.
Yeah.
Outside of the possible Risk of Rain 2. Cough, cough. But
I always meant to get into that series and never did. So it's on my list. Risk of Rain 2 is on my list of games for first impressions.
For first impressions, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I've never tried it before. How would I know if it's good or not?
Play it for an hour and then return it on Steam. Abuse the refund policy.
I have never done that with first impressions videos. I do write them off on my taxes, but I have never refunded them after recording a first impressions. Fall Guys is like weirdly fun. It's like, it's kind of tough to explain why I think it's fun because I also think it's really stupid. But like,
I feel the same exact way.
The idea of just, when you tell me what it is on paper, of just, hey, here's like 40 people just running down trying to get to the other side of a room or doing this other dumb thing. It's like, yeah, that doesn't sound fun. But when I do it, I'm like, yeah, I want to be one of the last people on that platform. I want to get there before everyone else does. Get out of my way. I'm going to grab you and throw you off the side. I'm going to get up there.
Yeah.
My favorite little mini game thing that I had was you were separated into teams. And you had to get the most eggs.
I haven't done that one yet.
It's a lot of fun.
There's a bunch of eggs in the middle, and you grab them. And we got all the eggs, and then I sat there and I was like, "Well, we already have all the eggs. What do we?" Oh no! And I look up, and everybody's jumping into each other's bins and grabbing
That
their
sounds
eggs.
about right.
And some people are just grabbing you behind and trying to pull you away so you don't take their eggs. Like, okay, I get what's going on here.
It is sort of like Gang Beasts, Will, but I think in a weird way, it's both more and less fun than Gang Beasts. It's more fun because there's more people, and so it's more chaotic. And it's also less fun because there's more people, and it's more chaotic, and it's harder to focus in on your objective.
Yeah,
depending on what game.
It's a weird toss-up. I hate the Rocket League, like, football soccer thing. I hate that so much, where you're on foot, and you're supposed to... You literally, it's just Rocket League. It's not even soccer, it's just Rocket League. Except you can't boost, and you can barely jump, and so you're just like...
Hey, man.
Running after the ball as it goes way faster than you.
All you gotta do is jump and dive into the ball. And
I tried that, and I missed, and then the ball was the field away.
And there's always two, so you have to always be moving. I always play defense because nobody wants to play defense, so I'm just back there running back and forth to the ball starts coming my way, and then I'm just like running over there to try to stop it.
Yeah. I just need to play with you. That's the secret. Get you to play defense for me. Because I get that mode every time. I get that map every single time.
See, I get the egg one a lot.
Never seen the egg one.
You gotta keep playing.
I guess so. I got to the final round of my first time playing.
Yeah,
and then I've never made it to the final round since.
I was the last person to die before the final round on my first game.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because we were on this little plank, and then stuff kept coming.
Yeah.
To knock you off.
Is it the fruit one? Where they keep throwing fruit at you?
No.
That one's really cool.
No. That sounds cool.
It's really cool.
No, it's a little plank. You all stand on it, and then like boards come up in different shapes and stuff and knock you off.
Sometimes
and one of them,
yeah,
you have to jump, and I jumped, and somebody else jumped behind me and like hit me and caused me to fall.
Yeah.
So I died.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I had one round where I was gonna win, and like it was the last thing, and whoever the way you won was if you ran and jumped and grabbed the crown at the very top of the mountain, and I was the first one to the crown, and I didn't realize the crown moved up and down, so I jumped, and it went up, and I missed, and the person that was behind me got it, and I was like, no, I was gonna win. I was so mad.
It's fun. I don't think it's gonna be on my game of the year list or anything, but it's fun.
It'll be my game of the year. Every week I'll say some catchy thing from Fall Guys instead of Rock and Stone. I don't say anything, so I don't know. I'll just say whatever.
They don't. That's right. They are completely silent. They make noises, I guess, but that's it.
Next week, I'm hoping I can finish Necrobarista and read some more Gideon the Ninth. I just didn't have time to do those things, really.
Yeah.
I did have time, but... Because, I always have time because I played League instead. But League is just like such a de-stressor for me because it's just like hanging out with friends, you know?
Yeah.
But...
Good game.
Yeah, hopefully I can get some more out of Necrobarista and Gideon the Ninth. But that's it for my week.
All right.
Oh, wait, hold on. One last thing.
Oh.
I got to plug Venom.
Early plug.
Not sponsored.
Venom. Yeah, not sponsored. Death Adder, because I'll forget because I'll finish it by the end of the podcast.
That's fair.
Never had this flavor. It's basically fruit punch energy drink.
Oh, okay.
So
it's good.
Are Venoms good because they're cheap?
Yeah, I like them. My favorite one is the Black Mamba, which is like their standard flavor, I think. And it tastes like Red Bull, but like super carbonated.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it tastes like Red Bull.
So yeah, I'm always weary about the energy drinks that aren't as expensive, I guess, because I'm always worried that they're just like full of nothing but straight sugar instead of actually having like caffeine and stuff in them. Or that, what is it? It's called BCAA,
What?
whatever that vitamin is or whatever. Anyways, I'm always worried that it's just like a sugar rush, so it won't actually keep me going. But if you sit at work, I'll have to try it.
What's up, Trey?
Pat, how's your week been?
It's been good and bad.
All right.
I'll get the bad out of the way because I don't like the bad. I started not feeling too great late Sunday night.
Yeah.
Monday morning, I went to work. Told my boss, "Hey man, just want to let you know, I'm not feeling too hot. Here's some of my symptoms, just so you know. Don't freak out. Think this is what it is." And then I got sent home out of caution, and now I can't work for the next 10 days. Or I have to get a coronavirus test. I feel fine now. Feel great. My fatigue is basically gone. The only thing I had left from the symptoms that I had was fatigue, and it was the slightest amount of fatigue. And as the days gone on, I'm over it. Fine now.
I don't blame your boss though. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, it just really sucks because I don't know if I'm getting paid. I don't know what the plan is for that, and the quickest I can get a test is tomorrow, and it says 5 to 7 days on return time for the test.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, if it's 7 days, I might as well just wait out 10.
Yeah, I don't know if your boss has or your boss, if your job gives paid PTO or if you have to earn it. But that may be something to look into as well. If you have some PTO hours that you can use, if they're not paying you, if they are paying you, then you're fine. But
well, the problem is I just started.
Yeah,
like less than a month ago.
Now I know at my job, which is similar.
Waste processing.
Setup. Yeah, we're similar. Yeah, similar in that sense. We are given days that if you can't work from home and you have to stay home due to anything related to COVID, whether you have it or somebody else has it that you are in contact with or whatever, they give you days. If you can't work from home, they give you 10 days. And I don't know if it was part of like some kind of CARES Act or some kind of coronavirus relief or something like that. I don't know if everybody has it or if it's just us, but
definitely worth checking into.
I'll look at that. Yeah.
It just really sucks. It's also because I don't like not working.
Yeah.
Like knowing, especially knowing that I can go to work. Like I don't feel bad or anything. It's like,
but
I don't want to sit here.
If you do have it, you could have it and not have any symptoms either.
Yeah. Well,
there are plenty of asymptomatic carriers. So.
Yeah.
Well, I know somebody who has it, and they had a high fever and a bad cough, body aches for a couple days. And then I talked to them today, and they were like, "I feel fine, but I understand I had to be out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I feel fine."
Yeah. Can't risk giving it to other people.
Yeah. I hope that the test comes back negative like I think it will, because I live with my grandmother.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly don't think I have it, though. Like, I don't have the most common symptoms. I didn't have the most common symptoms. So, I kind of have, like, a feeling that I didn't get it. But,
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. I took cold medicine and I feel better. So, I'm assuming that I had, like, a minor cold or something.
That's what I'm hoping. Bad as that may sound.
Me too. Good stuff. UFC 4 comes out this week, but I've been playing it early.
Yeah, I thought about doing this, but I didn't.
If you have EA access, which I paid $5 for a month, thank you everybody for wishing that I don't have it. If you pay $5 a month, you can play games that come out early for EA. And so you get 10 hours I've played 5 hours of UFC 4, and I love this game. It is a lot of fun. I have to stop myself from burning through the last 5 hours that I have because I desperately want to play. I won't get into it too much until after Andrew's played it. But it does have a little bit of a story, at least at the beginning. I don't know how long it is or where it goes from where I'm at, but that's really interesting. The fighting's a lot of fun. I played UFC 3, but I didn't play a lot of it, so making comparisons is kind of difficult for me because I don't remember a whole lot from UFC 3. But I'm playing as a jiu-jitsu fighter who's a submission specialist, and I am undefeated professionally. It's so crazy because like I go into fights and immediately go for the the double leg takedown, and then just start going for a chokehold of any kind. It is so fun because I'll make my fighter talk trash the whole time leading up to the fight, and then right as the and I'm trying to make this career mode. I'm trying to make him the villain, so he's going to be like a bad guy, and his nickname is the Cobra, because just like snakes will wrap themselves around their enemies and like suffocate them to death. He once he gets on you.
Cobras don't do that though.
Just to clarify, it's not that I'm not listening to Pat. Zeke never does this until it's podcast time. Never. And he only wants attention now because we're doing the podcast. So I'm trying not to give it to him to break him of the habit. But it's really hard not to just pet him when he's right there.
Thank him for those pets.
What if he had just taken a shit right in your floor because of that?
I would have laughed.
Just like, all right, fine.
But like, I literally have to break him of the habit. Because if I don't, it's not, I say podcast time, it's when these lights are on, when I turn the lights on. And the other reason I turn these lights on is to use the green screen. And so when I have the green screen up, he decides the lights are on, it's time to come get pets. And so he'll push the green screen down while I'm recording. And so then videos that I wouldn't have had to edit otherwise because I never flubbed, I now have to edit because he knocked it over. So he can get attention later. He's just been reinforced by behaviors because I've called him in during the podcast, and now he thinks he needs to keep doing it.
He wants to hang out.
Yeah, so I have to be strong. Please continue, Pattrick. Tell me about this game that I'm desperately trying to care about.
No, you're good. It's a good game. I plan on putting a lot of hours into it. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna have multiple careers, I'm sure, and I can't wait for Andrew to play it. So next week we can talk about it,
baby. This Friday.
Yeah. No, and I'm hoping I don't have to re-download it. That would be so stupid.
Surely not, right?
I don't know, because I was thinking about it. What happens after the 10 hours? Does it uninstall?
No, I assume it would just sit there and say you can't play it. I would assume.
Yeah, the save stays, but I'm like, okay, does it know that it's the game but not the game, and that when the game officially comes out, it's now the game?
It's on PS4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who owns publishing rights?
EA.
Okay, so it is EA. The way that it works with early access code for most games that I've been given is that the game is available to you and it has the same EXE. It's not like a brand new different application.
Mm-hmm.
But when you run out of the time you're allowed to play it, you can still boot the game. You just can't play the game because it'll stop you with a screen that says the game is not currently available. And then you will be able to, when the game becomes available, that screen stops showing up and you're able to just play.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping. That would be amazing. But yeah, good game. Next on my list, I played Rocket Arena.
Okay.
Which this game came out, what was like 2 weeks ago?
It had a bunch of hype when it first came out and dropped off immediately hype-wise.
Yeah. From my understanding, there was like nobody playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a cool concept because to me it's kind of like Smash in a way. You have your character and you're running around shooting each other with rockets.
That sounds like Smash.
There's a really cool dodge mechanic. I was about to explain how it's like Smash, Trey. Okay. So the idea is to hit each other and knock each other out off the map.
Yeah.
And as you hit each other, your meter grows. And if somebody's meter's full and you hit them, they shoot off the map really far, and then they end up dying. So and that's why I was saying it's kind of like Smash, because you're constantly trying to push each other.
Yeah.
And then once somebody's meter's full, you hit them, they're just gone.
Yeah. I would prefer to say it's more like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man, I wish they made a sequel and made it better.
Please continue, Pat. I'm sorry.
The game's okay. I probably am not going to continue playing it.
Yeah.
But it was a cool concept. Put it that way. I played Grounded.
Yeah.
Which is a game where you're kids and you get shrunk in your backyard.
Thanks for the invite.
We can play anytime you want this week. So I'm not doing anything. So
I still got to work from home for the next 2 weeks.
Sounds like it's time to get back into 14.
It is time to get back in 14, and I have every intention to do that. If you have arachnophobia, do not play this game. I might be developing arachnophobia because of this game.
That's fair. I can't imagine how horrifying it must be to have like full-size spiders running around.
Yeah, like when they're in the dark and you can't see them, and then you pull out your torch because you hear something, and all of a sudden there's a spider in your face, and it one-hits you.
Yeah, no, that's not
yeah,
good.
So Jen and Adri were watching me play, and I'm like running around, doing stuff, trying to check things out. There's not much story because the game's in very early access. Like, they barely put anything into it. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do that I still want to do in the game, so I plan on playing it through it again.
Yeah.
But I come around this corner, and there's 3 spiders just like standing there, and one of them locks onto me, and then it's just immediately I knew like I was dead. There was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like freaking out the whole time, and it was crazy. The game is cool though. I love what it's trying to do, like what it's going to do. With the way that the game works as far as like building and things like that. The way that certain bugs.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was contemplating how best to feed Andrew to my spiders. Please go ahead.
Oh. I don't think you can tame the spiders.
I have 3 spiders that are named in my house. We've discussed this.
Oh, in your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant in the game, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about in the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was like, Pat, I have spiders.
Yeah, no. But the way that some of the bugs are like docile, and unless you mess with them, like the ladybug, for example. And so I have this bad habit in the game of when I see something I haven't seen before, I stab it. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense, but I was holding the spear and I'm running around, and I was like, oh, look, stab. And then the ladybug turns around and just destroys me. It was so funny. And then Jen and Adri are laughing at me the whole time because I was just running around like just randomly poking stuff. I was like, what's that? Poke? And then there was this other bug that I don't know what it was. But I walked up and I stabbed it, and it started shooting acid at me. So I had to like run away. It was crazy. I like the game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play when they add more stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still going to play it. I'm going to put a little more time into it probably this week since I won't have a whole lot of stuff to do.
It's on my list to check
Grounded's
out for
pretty
first
cool.
impressions, but it's another survival game, right?
Yeah.
It is a survival game.
Probably best played with other players.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah. Playing solo is
That's
not
all
bad.
y'all are to me.
Huh?
I'll say that's all y'all are to me is other players.
Just pawns.
That's how I referred to it. It was the other players.
Pawns in the game of life.
We're just other players that aren't as toxic with him all the time.
Yeah. That's not true.
You're right.
I troll. I'm not toxic.
I already talked about Fall Guys. Played that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then lastly, besides like League and Warframe, I'm playing Warframe. It's fun. I started reading Epic. I was convinced to start reading my favorite childhood book. I instantly remembered why the book is good, and I'm on chapter 7, I think, now. I'm loving that book, and now I have every intention of completing the series. I only read the first book as a kid. I didn't read the second or the third book. So now, once I finish this one, I'm going to go ahead and get the next one and the next one. If you didn't hear me talking about it last time, it's a story about family that lives in a new world of Earth. Well, it's not Earth, but it's a new world where people left Earth in hopes for another planet, basically. They land there, and then there's a game that they make called Epic that's a lot like World of Warcraft, basically. And that game dictates everything. Like, it dictates your status in society. And it's really cool how the world works, because in real life outside of Epic, you're not allowed to harm other people. So you're not allowed to fight. There's no violence allowed at all. So all the violence and things get resolved and stuff like that through Epic. And in the story, the main character, Eric, he is playing the game, and he needs to play it in order to basically stop his family from being sent to a worse job, a harder working job, because they lost in Epic. Yeah, well, it's funny. Eric is spelled Eric, just like Eric, friend of the podcast. So, Machete Eddie, you're in the book.
There you go. It's the story of his life.
Yeah.
Sad life.
But Eric needs to do this in order to help save his family from being allocated somewhere else. And instead of following the meta, which everyone plays the meta now, nobody plays other characters like the game was originally meant to be played.
Yeah.
He goes on his own experience, and that's what makes it really cool. Is it's basically a story about how to go, and like going with the flow and doing what everyone else is doing isn't always the right thing.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I mean, I don't remember how it ends, so I'm super excited to see where it goes. But I definitely 100% remember why I like this book. The writing is really good, and
that's cool, man.
I enjoy it. Yeah. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I would recommend reading.
In book 2, does the character meet these 3 guys, 2 of which are really annoying and one of which is really chill and has to constantly put up with the other 2 constantly trolling him?
First and foremost, I told you I hadn't read the second book. Second of all, you just said one of us is chill and 2 of us is annoying, and now everyone has to wonder which one is which.
Pat, obviously you're the chill one because we troll too much.
How am I the chill one? Have you seen me play League of Legends?
Have you seen us troll? If there's only one person that's not a troll, it's got to be you.
Yeah.
I just hold back. If I really wanted to troll, I could. But I care about you guys, and I don't want our friendship to. So I don't troll my friends.
Andrew, Pat sees how much we troll, and he holds back. Because if he trolled as well, the 3 of us would never be able to stay together.
If I...
that's the glue.
Again. Okay, yeah, but look. I'm only a troll in League of Legends. And I used to be a really bad... Overwatch was the worst.
Oh, Pat, I love you, buddy.
Overwatch
but when we used to play Overwatch, you drove me up a wall. Not even because like it was anything specific you were doing to me. It was just like you would watch, because you could tell when somebody was typing. They would stop moving. And so Pat would just be moving, and then he would just stop. And then chat would come up of like, hey, you want to suck less? to somebody else on the team.
It
And
was
like,
definitely
all right,
way worse than that.
all right,
Yeah.
I guess we're doing this now. Pat's gonna get into an argument with this guy, and they would.
Same thing with Rocket League. If somebody was not doing what I needed them to do in Rocket League, I was trying to tell them what they could do with themselves. That's all I'm trying to say.
There would be matches that I was convinced we could have turned around if two of our teammates were actually playing instead of arguing in chat.
Well, see, it got bad because then I started just using voice chat.
Yeah, that's true.
We're really lucky League doesn't have voice chat. That's all I'm saying.
I remember there was one. There was one we were
Scarab
playing.
Squad.
There was one we were playing where Pat was like, "Hold on, I gotta join the voice chat," and I was like, "But we're in a call," and he's like, "No, I gotta join the voice chat for a second." And then he's gone from the Discord call for a second. He's muted, and then he comes back, and I'm like, "Hey, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it." And then I just see two players quit, and I'm like, "Oh, I see."
Toxic. See, Trey and I are trolls, but we're not toxic. Come on now.
Hey, Pat's gotten a whole lot better. Pat's gotten a whole lot better. I think now we could play Overwatch, and I would only slightly cringe when he gets mad.
I thought you were going to say I only slightly cringe at Overwatch.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, Overwatch isn't good anymore. It used to be good, but it's
Overwatch 2 is coming out.
Yeah, that makes me want to freaking vomit.
Someday, maybe.
I don't want to get on that high horse, but I will.
They keep saying it will, but it's not.
All it is an expansion, basically.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It should be an expansion. Why would you release a whole nother game with the same exact champions, with the same exact maps, and they're just like, well, now we added a story, so it's a different game. No, screw you, Blizzard.
Please look forward to League of Legends 2.
Dude, Blizzard is just jumping in the same hole as freaking Bethesda.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just companies that start with letter B.
Hole for a long time.
Maybe. Look at BioWare.
Look, all these companies that start with the letter B putting up bullshit.
Give me one good one, chat. Give me one good game development company that starts with a B. I will wait.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
Was that the last thing for your week, Pat?
Activision ruined Blizzard? No. Blizzard jumped in that train on their own. They didn't need help from Activision.
Nintendo.
Bumbler Interactive.
I don't know who that is. Is that a real thing, or are you messing with me, chat?
I'm looking it up now.
Are you trolling me, chat?
I really hope that I'm not looking up something stupid.
Chat, are you trolling me right now? You're trolling me. I fell for that one. Hook, line, and sinker. I fell for that one.
Yeah, I don't know what Bumble Interactive's not a game.
I fell for that one. I'm soft. Oh man. Oh, I forgot to retweet the. Thanks, Kat, for retweeting the podcast tweet. I forgot to retweet it. Oh man. Okay, let me do that real quick. Pat, was there anything else for your week? Biohazard?
No.
Biohazard. Wait, is that an actual dev team, or is that just the? I don't think that's an actual dev team.
Either way, Bethesda and Blizzard dug their own graves. Bandai Namco?
Hey!
Bandai Namco sucks.
Just because they made Jump Force.
Every other game besides Gundam Versus and Gundam Maxi Road Boost on
Gundam Maxi Versus Boost on Turbo Exchange.
Bungie's good. Bungie used to be good.
Yeah, Bungie used to be great.
Gundam versus Boost Switch Exchange Max Boost Off
Builder
combo. That's the new game by Bandai Namco.
All right, Pat, you got anything else for your week?
Nope, just more Mobile Suit version 2 on Turbo Crunch.
Verkai.
Gun Echo 2.
All right, we'll get into my week then.
Hey Trey,
Yeah, what's up, Andrew?
how's your week been?
That's good. You know, I haven't played a whole lot of stuff, but I put a lot of time into the few things I did play. So let's talk about Warframe.
Yee.
I've been playing Warframe. If I could have waited a month, I could have played with the new player version of Warframe that has like a redone tutorial and everything. But I didn't want to wait. I wanted to play, and I was having fun, so I kept playing, and I'm still having fun. I think that Warframe has an interesting story so far. It hasn't just like grabbed me, but it's pretty good so far. I think that Warframe is kind of impossible to figure out right away. Like everything's there. The good news is you can kind of just go at your own pace. And so, you know the Destiny problem of like, where do I start? In Warframe, it's not where do I start, it's how do I do all these cool things I want to do? And so, like, your actual path on where to go is pretty simple. It's, hey, here's Earth. Do nodes on Earth. And you'll do those, and eventually you get to Junction, and it's like, hey, if you did these missions, you can do this Junction and unlock this new planet. And then I'm like, all right, cool, I got this new planet. Let me go there. So, like, my path forward is pretty reasonable. It makes sense to me. I know what I'm doing, which is a really good feeling. But there's still a bunch of stuff that I don't understand yet, which I know I will as I go. And so far, the game has given me most of what I need. I will say that I did have to ask some questions for some things. I wish that, like, the Foundry had been a little bit better explained by the game. But specifically, like, how to find the materials that I needed. Being told, hey, if you go to the world map, you can see what materials each planet has on it for missions. And then you just run a mission with that. That made a huge difference because then it's, oh, I need this thing. I don't know where to find this. Oh, it's on this planet. I'll just do random missions there. I think the game's really good. Where it grabs me is the movement. Like the movement of Warframe is incredible.
You can fly.
Yeah, you can just go, man. I think the only negative that I have for Warframe right now is the boss fights. And I think it's just because I haven't fought enough bosses. I've only fought 2, but the 2 bosses that I fought were incredibly annoying. And one of them I fought 15 times to be able to get all my rhino parts. And it's just like, it's not a bad boss. It's just, you can't do real damage with your regular weapons. It's tied to dodging until you can do an official, like a super move, basically. It's not a super move, but like a special move that does a chunk of damage. And the second boss I fought floats around, and his weak point is his face, and it opens up, and you can attack the face. But the first time I did it with a low-level weapon, and I finally just aborted the mission and came back with a good frame, with a good weapon, because that fight, oh, that second boss, oh, man, I hated that fight. And when I came back with a second weapon, it was easy, because the moment the face is open, I just blew him up. And then he gets in a mech, and you have to fight the mech, and it was really cool. But, like, before that, I spent, like, 20 minutes trying to weaken him with a weak gun. Because I had no idea it was going to be a boss fight that required me to hit a very specific point and do a lot of damage to it in a short amount of time. So, like, I don't think... Go ahead.
I had that problem getting back into Warframe. I was stuck in a boss fight, and Jen had to show me how to, like, upgrade your weapons and, like, equipment and everything.
I finally fought the first boss. I don't know if it is the official first boss, but it's on Venus.
The Jackal?
Yeah, I fought the Jackal. I thought that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
The fight is really good the first time you do it. I think it's after that, as Band put it in the chat, the room hazards are really annoying. The room hazards, like the electricity specifically, is the problem. I can bullet jump to get ahead of those lasers. That's no problem whatsoever. But the electricity kills you so quickly if you're in a low-level frame. That electricity is the worst. But yeah, Vahek was the boss that I was complaining about.
One thing I noticed is that, like, because I'm still trying to figure out which frame I want to use out of the 3 that I have unlocked.
Yeah.
So I think the game was expecting me to be higher ranked.
Yeah.
During that fight, but it didn't bother me. I still had a lot of fun, like trying to learn his moveset and then understand where I needed to be and all that stuff. And it was super fun because I was trying and get to the very end where I only had one more move to hit him with to finish him.
Yeah.
But I had died 4 times. You can only die 5 times.
Yeah.
So I respawned the 5th time, and I was like, here we go. Like, it's all or nothing. And I dodged one wave, and then he starts doing the spin.
Yeah.
And I was barely making it, and was able to bullet jump in and hit the button just in time before he went back up into the air.
Yeah.
And it was super awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah, I think visually, I think that boss is incredible. It's just the room hazards become really annoying. I don't think it'd be a problem if I didn't have to run it so many times.
Yeah. So you don't like the grinding aspect of it?
No, so let me clarify. I love the grind of Warframe. I think Warframe is just on the right side of grind, especially because it's free. The game is free, so I don't mind grinding for stuff. I don't like those room hazards with grinding. I've run a couple missions over and over and over again, no problem whatsoever, because I don't mind grinding. I played Octopath Traveler.
That's what I'm saying. So you would prefer, like, if the boss battles, you didn't have to grind those.
Sure. I don't think I would mind the boss if it just didn't have the electricity. I think the fire wave, and then the bombs that it shoots out, and then the mobs that can spawn in very rarely, I think that's enough. I don't think it needed I even think the electricity, like, pillars that come up, the 4 pillars of electricity that if you run into, you lose your shield. I think those are really good because you should be aware of where those are. I just think it's the chain electricity that I don't like. I don't want to grind the second boss. Yeah, I don't want to grind the second boss because I hate that mechanic of opening the face, but Jen said that you can slow him and then the face is always open. So there is that. I really like the fighting the boss itself when the electricity's not up. I think it's really cool. Dodging the lasers and getting in and using your Parazen, I think is really interesting.
The game is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm playing it. I wish I had played it whenever I tried to play it a long time ago, but I was trying to play it on console.
Yeah.
And it doesn't control the same at all.
You know what I think? You know what I think my biggest issue with the hazards in that fight are? It's that everybody around you dies. And then it's just you. And it's like you pick them up, and you pick them up, and you pick them up, and I'm running around in my Gauss. I'm dodging everything. I'm getting past the electricity. I'm boosting past the floor. It's fine. And everybody's dead. And I keep having to go pick them up over and over and over again. It's like, look, I'm not dead. Stop dying.
Dang, Trey.
I'm just saying, if randos were better than game, I wouldn't be as upset.
Where's my team? Where's my team?
So, I'm excited to fight more bosses to see if there's some, because I think the ideas in those 2 boss fights are really interesting. So, bring good players. That would be the way to do it. That would be the way to do it, Jen. I also want to clarify, there's a lot of people that follow us that play Warframe as well. If I'm not playing with you, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I don't want you to kill everything too fast for me. I want to build up myself. Granted, I've got to a point now where I feel like I'm pretty built up, and my Gauss could probably run with some people. You know, I could probably do some stuff with that Gauss. But I want to build up myself, you know? I want to be able to get a foothold. I'm Mastery 6, I think, now. So, like, I want to get to, like, Mastery 10. And then by that point, I feel like I'll have got far enough in, you know?
I feel like I'm only 2. I know for a fact I'm a little over 2 hours into the game.
Yeah. I'm 30.
So I'm not very far. I'm not far at all.
I took a day off the other day, which I don't do very often, and I played a lot of Warframe on that day off. So
I can tell you exactly how many hours I haven't.
That day's coming, Jen. Give me just a little bit longer, and then it'll be like, hey, you guys want to grind for this? I think the thing that I like the most about Warframe is that it's not a question of, like, okay, so with most big games, Pat and I had a discussion about this the other day. It can be easy to feel like you're just behind, right? Like you're always behind it. You're never going to catch up. I think what I like the most about Warframe is it's not that I'm behind. I am behind, but it's not that I'm behind. It's just that I haven't played enough yet. And so it's not there's not a distance that's slowly growing. It's, I'm closing that distance way faster than I thought I would when I started. I'm not close to Jin yet. I'm not close to Adra yet. They have way more stuff than I do. I'm not close to another friend of mine, Anomalous. I'm not close to him yet. But I'm getting there, and I jump faster than I ever thought I would. And so that fills me with a lot of hope, you know? But I am in a clan, Artaka. I am. Jin invited me when I first started playing. But it's really fun. You know what else is really fun? Way of Kings. I finished it.
Really?
Too long enough.
Yeah, I'm now on chapter 36 of World of Radiance, Words of Radiance, the second book. Kill stuff for hours. Yeah. Missions that take like 10 minutes. For sure. There's so many crazy ways to do it. Oberyn has Insta Revive. I need to use that then. I firmly recommend Way of Kings. When I finish all 3 of the books, I'm going to do a video on them. But I firmly recommend this book. It's really, really good. I think that the characters are really solid. I think that most of the chapters are extremely interesting. Not all of them, but most of them. What do I think about the second book versus the first book so far? I think the second book is way more focused. I think that the first book maybe had some more mystique to it. But I'm interested in what's going on in the second book, and the second book has definitely had the better action so far. First book had some good action. There's a fight in this one where I was on the edge of my seat for the entire fight. I was like, oh my gosh. So basically, I don't want to spoil too much. There's these things in the books called shard blades. And they're swords that don't cut flesh. Instead, when they hit flesh, they kill it. So if you get hit in the arm with a shard blade, your arm is dead and no longer works. If you get stabbed with a shard blade, you die because it burns your eyes out. So shard blades are like a big problem, right?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so there's a fight. I'm not going to spoil too much. There's a fight in a hallway with 2 characters with shard blades and 2 characters without. And so and yeah, as Ben puts it, they're like TV show, like swords in movies that can cut armor like it's nothing. Shard blades can do that. And so there's this really intense fight that's a 3v1 where you have one guy with a shard blade versus these 3 other people, and you care about all 4 of these characters, and you're just like, oh, if anybody swings the wrong way, it could just be over. It's real good. It's really good. I like it a lot. I'm very excited to continue it. I also think, I know I mentioned this when I first started it, I still think the world building is incredible. I'm going to put up a spoiler hand. So anybody that cares, I'm going to spoil a creature that is in here. But I feel like it's the only chance I've got of getting Pat or Andrew to read this book. So spoiler hands.
What if I don't want to be spoiled?
Are you going to read it?
How long is the book?
It's like 1,000 pages.
Oh, hell no. Never mind. Tell me
Okay.
about it.
Spoiler
That'll
hand
take
up.
me a year and a half to read.
It's for a creature. I'll pull the hand down when I stop talking about the creature. So instead of having there are horses and stuff, but they have crabs and like giant crustaceans and stuff like that. And one of them is a crab so massive that it's an island.
Okay. See how much this book costs. I love that whole this is a living thing, but it's like an island.
Yep. And
It's only $10 on Kindle.
It's real good, Andrew. There's also, I'm putting my hand back up. Yeah, and the people that live on it. Let's not forget. They worship it as if it were a god. It's sick. There's also dumb crabs, I guess you could say, that are horse-sized that pull carts called chols. There's some really interesting world building in there, but I'll put my hand down now. Yeah, I think the second book is more focused because it is a god. It's a big creature. That's true. I think the second book is more focused than the first one. Which I don't know if that's specifically a good thing, because I did like the openness of the first book. Like, the first book had characters in a bunch of different places that slowly got closer, but never quite came together. The second book has a lot of characters that are close, and so the story's moving a lot faster, because as you're going from POV chapter to POV chapter, they're in the same area. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I still kind of dislike one of the main characters. It's the situation where this main character is not great. Like, they're not a really good person, and they're also not a really mean or evil person or cruel. They're kind of just lukewarm. And so, for me, that's like the worst thing you could be. I don't need you to be Dio or Gon, but I need you to be somewhere close to one of those two. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be Goku, because I don't necessarily like Goku, but you need to be
then you'll
something.
be a bad dad.
Yeah, that's true. Then you'd be a very bad dad, but you got to be something. So, you know what else I've been playing? Final Fantasy XIV. Patch 5.3 dropped today. I've recorded a bunch of videos on it, and that will all be coming up over the next couple days after I get it edited together. We have finally gotten the end of the Shadowbringers story. The next two patch cycles will focus on the story back on the source, so we'll get the rest of the story there. But the end of the Shadowbringers story was like 10 hours worth of quests, and it was really, really good, including in 2 incredible instances, a great dungeon, and a really good boss fight. That story wrapped up incredibly, and I love it so much. So good. I firmly believe now. I was asked, if you'll remember, Andrew, you asked me, because I made the statement during Game of the Year that I thought that Shadowbringers on its own might be my favorite Final Fantasy game, but that it wasn't finished yet, and I would come back to that when it was finished. Shadowbringers' story is now finished. It is definitely my favorite Final Fantasy game. The story of Shadowbringers on its own is an incredible story. And where it wraps up, I cried, I laughed, I whooped. It was so good, man.
You heard it here first. Trey, whoop.
Whoop, whoop,
whoop. It was very good. It's very good. That's a very, very solid story. They also added flying to A Realm Reborn areas, which are the 1.0, 2.0 areas. So you can fly in those now if you finish the the story of 2.0. And it's really cool being able to fly around in those areas now. There's actually a lot more you can see that you couldn't see before. They also did the ARR crunch. So the very first expansion of the game, I guess you could say first relaunch of the game, is now way shorter. They cut out like 60 quests and shortened a bunch more. So those of you that are in A Realm Reborn still, that are working their way up into Heavensward, will have a much easier time getting there. And so it should be a lot more fun now. So very excited for that. I'm going to take, after I get done catching up on the patch and everything, I'm going to start taking a new character through A Realm Reborn and do a video series on that, just talking about like, hey, this used to be this long, and, cut around through in there. But it's real good. Final Fantasy 14's real good. I can't.
Best Final Fantasy of all time? Question mark.
It's my favorite story for sure. If you didn't have to go through everything else to get to Shadowbringers, it would be. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, right? Like, I don't think it's bad that you have to play all of that. I just understand that a lot of people won't. The question of like, hey, you should play Shadowbringers. It's the best Final Fantasy. And they go, oh, but I have to play 3 expansions to get there, basically. It's like, well, yeah, but it's worth it. And it's like, well, I'm not doing that. Well, okay. But it's good. It's real good. I want to talk specifics with you guys so bad, but I can't because I would spoil everything. But there is a moment.
From what I played of Shadowbringers, I loved the story from what I played. I didn't get very far.
FF14 is free to play for a while. It's got a free trial that goes for a very long time, but it is not free, unfortunately. It is
There's a free trial.
Didn't they just up the level cap
Yep.
on the free to play?
Yep. Free trial now goes all the way through the first expansion. So
That's awesome.
you now can play up until you hit level 60, basically. And you can't level past 60, and you can play all the way through the Heavensward story. So A Realm Reborn and all of Heavensward, and then
That's
you have to start
awesome.
paying a monthly sub to continue playing. But very, very
Yeah,
cool.
if you're not hooked by then
For sure. If you've played over 40 hours and you still don't know if you want to keep playing it or not,
that's fair. Yeah, just don't play it.
you get all the way through the Dragon Song War and you're like, I don't know if it's for me. But the unfortunate thing about the free trial is that some of the player races still aren't available because they're tied to expansions instead of being tied to the game. I wish that wasn't the case because some people might be like, oh, there's a free trial and I've been seeing people play Vieira. I want to play as Vieira. And it's like, well, you can't, unfortunately, because Vieira's tied to Stormblood. So unfortunate. But also I got a couple things to show off real quick. Because I got some stuff in the mail this week. I got this little Homare from Hugto Precure. Little Homare keychain. Finally made it. I ordered it 4 months ago. So she sits on my desk. She's so cute. And then good buddy Joel sent me this Homare plush.
Nice.
From Hugto Precure. So
You know,
sits on my
Trey,
desk.
you know, it took you so long to make me care about Common Rider stuff
Yeah.
and get me excited for your new collectibles.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be excited about anything from Precure.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wish that you would give it a try. I think you'd really like it.
You know you don't. You don't think I would really like it.
I do think you'd really like it. It's really good. But I also got another gift in the mail.
You got a sword?
A buddy of mine told me he was going to send me this a while back. And it's been stuck in shipping from Japan. But he sent me a Shinai.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
So,
dope.
Now I can do my kata with an actual Shinai instead of using just a stick. Which is really cool. So
That's super cool.
That's awesome.
he said that he sent it in early March. And it just got here yesterday. So
I
got a
want
good
cool
heft to it.
stuff.
Zeke doesn't like it, but I like it.
But if you would quit hitting him with it,
I would never. He doesn't like it because it makes like a swoosh when I swing it for kata as compared to just the stick.
yeah.
And he's like, every time. But get 2 more of Izoro. That's true. I could just.
So you can whoop, but you can't whoosh. Got
That's
it.
true. Yeah. How do you do that, Zoro? Anyway, we should probably move on to the rest of the podcast. Thanks to shipping, we have no sitting cuties, but we do have reviews. Zeke, I'm not going to swoosh it. Calm down. I'll put it up. He's just standing over there looking at it. Like, you're not going to swoosh that thing, are you? Also, I didn't specify. When he told me he was sending me something, I didn't ask for anything. You know, I didn't ask what it was going to be. I didn't specify for a case, but he got me this sleeve that has little crosses on it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Where did you find that?
That's really cool.
So, yeah, he's like, did you say my name? I do have a sitting cutie. You're so right. She's right here.
Shut up.
Okay, she's so cute. She's right here.
Trey's gonna have the FBI show up at his door with all these little girl collectibles.
Little girl collectibles. All right.
That was an interesting way to word that.
That was.
The
Let's
little
talk about
girls.
them.
And he's
They're
collecting them like a creepo.
She's not a little girl. She's a teenager, just like any other anime character.
That's little girl. Trey, you're almost 30. It's a little girl.
Legal age is
Oh,
different in Japan.
let's not get into that. We have reviews for Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. So, Fall Guys, we talked about it earlier. This game is free in PS Plus. That's the word. Not free on PC, but free on PS Plus. We made reviews before 9 our time. That's actually kind of impressive.
Barely after 8.
That's true, man. Homare could super beat up Andrew. She could beat up all of us. She can fly on a star and can do rider kicks. Anyway. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. What do you guys think it's sitting at score-wise? Jin says a 92.
What?
So I unintentionally saw this. So I will not be able to participate in the score. I was looking, and the reason I looked on OpenCritic at all is because there's a game coming out that I don't think that you would put a review up for because it's a sports game that you probably don't even know is coming out.
Do you want to know how I pick out games to put on the list for reviews?
Yes.
I go to OpenCritic and I see what's on the right for available now, coming up soon. And if it's coming out roughly within the time span of that week or right before or after, I put it on the docket.
Well,
So
you
even
missed
if it-
one.
I put it on there after I saw you put it on there. You put it on there.
Which,
So then I deleted it and put it back on there.
did you really? Why?
So I can say I put it on there.
Oh, you go psychopath.
I didn't know you did like all of them,
Yeah.
but I was like, I have a feeling that because it's a sports game and no one loves me, that I'm gonna have to put this on there myself. So it doesn't have reviews yet. So
See,
it's all good.
you spoiled yourself because you didn't trust me.
It's not that I didn't trust you, it's that I know no one likes sports games but me apparently. And the entire world
Hold on. I like sports games.
You like NHL, you like Gran Turismo, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and UFC.
UFC. I like 2K and I like Madden, but I don't like them. There's too many other games. I don't like them enough to
That's fair.
buy them over other games.
That's fair.
And I hate golf in general. So
Yeah. The game that I was talking about is PGA Tour 2K21.
Oh, okay. You guys want to see a neat trick? Kat gave it an 86. That's her guess. Artaka gave it a 95. Andrew's going with an 83. Ben's going with an 84. Andrew, what is your score?
85.
85. Let's see what the axe has to say. Chatty Eddie with a 69. Jin with a 92. Said we could go. The score is 80 on the dot. Pat was not a fan of that trick to pull us back to the...
I'm not a fan of Ben's comment.
Oh, so let me read you guys some reviews. We have Dual Shockers, who says, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is a joy to play, fun for all levels of video game players, and will only get better from here. GameSpot says, Fall Guys' charming presentation and approachable mechanics make it the most welcoming battle royale yet, with just a few blemishes keeping it from greatness. Destructoid says, if none of our hopes and dreams pan out, I'm sure at least some of them will, considering the game's early success. Fall Guys is still one of the feel-good excursions of 2020. How much longevity players can get out of it will vary from person to person, but as someone who had essentially called it quits on the all-too-samey battle royale genre, I'm having a ridiculously fun time right here, right now. And then finally, we'll go with IGN, who says, a collection of exciting minigames and a burst of every color under the rainbow makes Fall Guys a consistent, almost a constant, delight. I was hoping that some of our favorites would have reviewed it, but they did not.
No Daily Star?
No Daily Star. No Venture Beat.
A bunch of hacks.
I know, right? How dare you not review this great game? What do you guys think the recommended score is then?
I'm going to say 87.
95.
Okay. Chat,
Oh,
you have heard the
had
guesses
out.
from the panel.
I do not.
I'm pressing the button. It said we could go. The answer is 94%.
Yeah, Pat cheated there.
Oh, I didn't. I
Very
just saw
close.
the
We already,
I just saw the score on the right side. You know how you can
Yeah.
see the score on the right side? Yeah, that's all I saw.
yeah.
So, very
So
popular
did you see
game.
the score for all these games?
No, I only saw the one for Fall Guys.
Dual Shockers gave it the 9.5 out of 10 with their review. IGN gave it an 8. GameSpot gave it a 7. And Destructoid gave it an 8. I've never heard of this outlet before, which is why I didn't read the review. But the lowest review is from Slant Magazine that gave it a 2 out of 5,
Yeah.
which is very harsh, and said, even when Fall Guys is working perfectly as intended, its appeal is limited.
Slant
Apparently
Magazine.
not, because it's got like 2 million players.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's exactly. Apparently not.
I mean, there were so many players that crashed the servers when it first came out. So,
You know.
So Slant's just a big tabloid. I went to their website and it's literally they talk about a bunch of random stuff.
I'm not surprised. Next up, we have the Fast and Furious. I'm sorry, that's not the title. Fast and Furious Crossroads.
yes, the game that closed out the Game Awards.
Yep.
This is at least a 96.
We
Game
had
of
to
the
talk
year
about it.
quality.
So this is a big game, right? It's Fast and Furious. It looks like it was made for the PS2. It's
It's retro, Trey. It's retro.
It's got to have a good score. What do you guys think the critic score is?
40.
50.
Okay.
I'm going straight in the middle, cutting it in half.
I hope it's worse.
Our talking says 6.
I hope it's a 20.
I also hope it's a 20.
Jen says
Negative 10.
negative 10.
I hope it's a negative 10.
They give you points if you buy this game. Band has a 56. All right.
They give
Add
this
it
game
to
out
the
for
5.
free.
A 5. That would be awesome.
It would be awesome. I'm gonna push the button.
You go to GameStop or something and they just give the game out for free with every bag.
It said we could go. The score is a 44.
Oh, mama.
I just wanna
Closed
clarify.
out the Game Awards.
With
I just
a
wanna-
44.
I feel like I got to clarify. The Sneak King, the game that was given away for free by Burger King, it doesn't have an OpenCritic score because OpenCritic didn't exist when it came out, but it has a Metacritic score of 72. So
Hey, there you go.
it is
I heard it was
beating.
pretty good.
It is beating a game that you could get for free that people gave away on street corners because they had so many copies of. Has a higher score than this. So let me read a couple of these reviews for you. The Gamer says Fast and Furious Crossroads combines a great driving game with the franchise's signature campy machismo for a fun movie experience.
Paid.
Game Informer says seeing the crew behind the wheel again is good, but they deserve so much better than this.
That sounds realistic.
And most people didn't review this game, I'll be honest with you.
Jay killed me. He said 54 points.
Negative 10, man. Metro Game Central says another deeply disappointing Fast and Furious game that's all the more upsetting because of the obvious talent it wastes in terms of both developers and cast. So, before you guys guess the recommended score, I have to ask, Fast and Furious fans have never gotten a good game.
Nope.
They just keep coming up losing, huh?
Also, there's no need for one this day and age. It's not 2006 or whatever it was when it first came out.
If you're a Fast and Furious fan, there's got to be something out there, and they're excited because those movies do well. They're excited for a game. They get this.
Hold up.
Band going through the throat.
The first 2 movies were good. You take that back.
No, I agree with Ben. I don't think any
I
of
like
those
the
movies are
first two
good.
movies.
I think they're all fun. I enjoy watching them, but I don't think they're good
Yeah, they're
movies.
fun. Yeah, they're fun.
I think the plot of those
nowadays,
movies is incomprehensible.
Yeah, nowadays you have cars going off of ramps on top of skyscrapers and crap. It's like, okay, how did this franchise go from, yeah, we're underground street racers to like, yeah, we work with the CIA, we're saving the world.
The Rock
Like what?
flexes and busts a cast off of his arm.
No, he doesn't.
He does. And so that's why I'm like, these movies are fun, but they're not good movies.
Anything with the Rock in it is good.
Dude, no, that's not true. Have you seen Journey to the Center of the Earth?
No. But I bet it's good.
It can't be good because didn't he just buy the XFL?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be good.
Yeah, they're high-budget Toku racing movies, except without the suits, so they're bad. And Machete Eddie is trying to bring up a discussion from last week that went long. What do you guys think the recommended score is?
What if they did that
I
for
believe.
the next Fast and Furious, and he was like,
I believe.
like they like plugged the XFL somehow into the
I
movie?
bet they will in the next Fast and Furious. I bet there's a moment in there where like the XFL poster is up there or something.
Or they have to drive through the stadium or something. I don't know.
I bet they do.
They need to
They'll
stop
have to
making
fly
these movies.
They'll
I
have
think
to
it's
fly
okay.
a plane sideways through the bleachers or some dumb shit.
I think it's okay to make the movies because I think everybody at this point knows that they're just for fun, you know?
Yeah.
But
I just think it's old.
sure. Well, that's why they went a different direction with Hobbs and Shaw, right? Instead of like leaning into the Fast and Furious name, it tried to become its own thing.
Yeah.
To be fair, that movie's really
Fast
fun
and
too.
Furious, the Fast and Furious cinematic universe.
I think. Okay, so man, we need to get back into reviews. The Fast and Furious has this weird thing where they mess around with the timeline and get stuck inside. Like they have to do things this way because a movie came out after the other movies, and so they build up to this big moment, and then the moment happens because it happened in a previous movie. And none of the payoff is there, and you're just like, yeah, we got there, we did it, now we can go on to new stories. It's like, then why? Why not just retcon it? You've retconned so many things in these movies, but you kept the one thing of, in movie 4, this one character's gotta die, and we gotta build up to that moment. And that was
Spoilers,
the
Trey,
best
spoilers.
character.
Well, he died in real life.
No, the actor didn't die in real life. He was
Are you
in...
talking-
I'm not talking about that one.
Okay.
I'm talking about one they killed
Yeah.
that then is in other movies.
Yeah.
That are
Because Fast and
prequels.
Furious 4, Paul Walker was still alive.
Yeah.
Or
No, that one
the
you
Fast,
couldn't help. But
Fast and Furious 4, also known as its name, The Fast and the Furious.
yeah.
Not Fast and Furious, The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, you're so right. It's not even the fourth movie. It's the third one, which is Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift, yeah.
Tokyo Drift wasn't bad.
No, that was a good movie.
It was a good little
I never
spinoff.
saw it.
It was a spinoff. It wasn't a part of the same story.
No, it is.
It's part of it.
It 100%
That's what I
is.
was just talking about. It's the thing that happens that they build up to for the next 4 movies.
Yeah. It 100% is tied into the universe
So
completely.
if you care about Fast and Furious spoilers,
Oh, hold on. Let me get my headset off.
I'm gonna put the hand up. In Tokyo Drift, what's his name? What is his name?
Don't ask
I
me.
never saw it. I just know
Oh,
about it.
I want to say.
I know.
oh,
I watched it. I just don't know names.
I don't remember his name. A guy dies, and so then they go, "Hey, this guy's death is important because Shaw is the guy that killed him." And so then they go, "Okay, movie 4, flashback to before he died. Movie 5, movie 6, movie 7, build up to the moment that he dies. He gets to still be in those other movies because he's not dead yet. And we build up to the moment when Shaw kills him, because Shaw kills him because the Fast and Furious team killed his brother. But then they have to break Shaw. Movie 7 is about capturing Shaw, and they fail. And at the end of that movie, he kills the guy from movie 3. And so then they have to break Shaw out of prison in movie 8 because they have to break him out because they need his help to get Paul Walker's character free, which is also unfortunately when Paul Walker passed away. I think it's movie 8. I might be like one movie more in each one. But then it comes back around to Hobbs, which is The Rock, takes Shaw. Why do I know this? Takes Shaw and like has to keep him under lock and key because he's a danger, but they might need him. And so then he can go drink with the rest of the family, even though he killed the guy in 3, because they needed his help and he's part of the family now, I guess. So then Hobbs and Shaw go off on their CIA mission that they get brought back into because Hobbs quits the CIA, but then gets pulled back because we need you for one more mission, Hobbs. And so, yeah.
We're family.
Yeah.
Again, the first 2 were pretty good movies, in my opinion. The third one was okay. And then I heard that they were coming out with another one, and I was like, why? Why are we still doing this? It's the same movie every time.
Hey.
And then they were like, what if, now hear me out, what if we just fill it with hot garbage, explosions, and buff people? And look where it's at.
Trey's brain cells. Okay, guys, destroy the important stuff and save the FNF movies lore. I can tell the Fast and Furious story from memory. That'll be the next one I do. What do you guys think the recommended score is?
0%. 0.
I don't think. Well, hold on. 44.
Yeah, it's probably like 15.
44 is low.
Really?
Oh, the Streamlabs bot is back.
15%. And it's the 1 or 2 that got paid.
How much did you say?
15.
I'll say 10%.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody got paid and recommended it.
Yeah, did you not hear the first review he gave us where they were like, it's awesome?
This is the best game ever
There
made.
you go. It's a 13.
Yeah.
So
That one review.
I'm just gonna read these off for you here.
We need to add Keeley and be like, you ended with this. You ended with this.
Metro
What a
Games
shill.
Central gave it a 2 out of 10. Game Informer gave it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
The Gamer gave it a 5 out of 5.
No, they didn't.
They sure did.
They
They
did
got
not.
They sure did.
They got paid.
Let me read the review blurb again for you.
They got paid.
Fast and Furious Crossroads combines a great driving game with the franchise's signature campy machismo for a fun movie experience.
Fake gamer. Jin, you're killing
It's
me.
just like
They are now. They have
Now
now
the new
replaced
yeah.
Daily Star for me.
It's
They're
just
called
like,
The Gamer.
Yep.
The
Okay.
gamer.
So-
I'm looking them up.
The disparity between the reviews is ridiculous. Perfect score, half score. Also, I have to point out, normally when you get a blurb, you got a name for the author for the article. The Gamer does not do that. They don't give a name in their blurb. But I have the full review here.
One for the family.
I have the full review here, and I want to read off to you the pros and the cons from the full review. Because they have one of those little deals that's like the pros and the cons. Here you go. Pros. Fun and intuitive driving controls. Big, dumb set pieces ripped from the movies. A surprisingly engaging and memorable story. Cons. Visuals and voice acting are rough. Probably should have cost 30 or 40 bucks. Great multiplayer that probably won't last long. 4 out of 5 stars.
I pulled up
So-
the full review, and one of the headlines for one of the sections is just cruising with Vin Diesel.
So, they gave it a 4 out of 5, and then told OpenCritic they gave it a 5 out of 5.
They're liars. Oh, I totally see the 4 out of 5 stars here.
I'll even drag it over so everybody can see it and know that I'm not just making it up.
They're lying. I see it too.
I will drag this over and zoom it in so you can see the 4 out of 5 right there.
Where did you find the pros and cons list?
It's in the image, the fun and intuitive driving controls, big dumb set pieces. So it could be a mistake. They could have accidentally told OpenCritic that they gave it a 4 out of 5, or a 5 out of 5 instead of a 4 out of 5. But that feels like one of those things you probably want to clarify.
That's
So
bad.
this says here that a PlayStation 4 copy of Fast and Furious Crossroads was purchased by the writer for the purpose of this review.
Yep.
So they're saying that they were not given this game for free.
They bought it.
It also says, the last line of the review says, plus you get to play as Michelle Rodriguez. Come on, what more could you want?
Oh,
Literally
get
anything else.
So
Literally anything else.
It's the last one.
I want to specify, for the most part, this is a really well-written review. For the most part, it's sections about how, look, what I care about in video gaming is the experience. I don't care about the time spent. I would rather have less time in a game than more. It's very much an opinion piece, and it's a well-written opinion piece. But I don't feel like they argued their points well enough to say that it's a perfect game, 5 out of 5, when that's not what they said. They said it was 4 out of 5. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. They can like this game if they want to. But I'm immediately suspect of, we say it's a 4 out of 5, but we're going to tell OpenCritic it's a 5 out of 5. That's a decision to make. Again, it could be a mistake, but normally you refresh it after it's been submitted to make sure that doesn't happen. You know. It also seems like this person really loves Fast and Furious. Like, at one point in the review, they're like, I'm still not over Hobbs and Shaw. So, like, hey, that's fine. They can like it if they want to. That's an option. I like games people don't. People like bad games like Super Mario Odyssey that I don't. So it's okay.
Dang.
It's okay. I'm just saying, make sure that your OpenCritic scores are right. Please.
Wait,
Because-
hold on.
Because this game would be a 10% recommended if you hadn't given it a perfect score. The game.
Hold on. So this says, they say that they value creativity, fun, and focus over polish. Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
They say, yeah, it's janky and a bit dumb, but what other game this year is going to let you chase a space shuttle through New Orleans? That's all I had to read.
If that was
And
in the
I'm
blurb, it would have been a better blurb.
I'm in now. I want to buy this game.
I went back and I looked at their RE3 make review.
Oh no. This
And
is
here's the
getting vicious.
headline.
This is getting vicious.
Resident Evil 3 review, simping for Jill Valentine.
I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they are.
Why would you name that your review?
It's probably a different reviewer too. Let's be honest. It's probably a different reviewer.
Find it. We gotta find it.
4 out of 5 stars. The pros, the best of any of the action RE games, bar none. Breakneck pace that never drags or lulls. A mediocre game remade into a memorable experience. The cons. Nowhere near as good as RE2. Shorter than even the original. And Carlos.
Excuse me, did they say that original RE3 is
They said it's mediocre.
less than one of the best games ever made? We need to move on. We make it a. I want to clarify.
For Jill Valentine.
We have nothing against individual outlets and reviewers. I just think that more often
Oh,
than
speak
not,
for yourself.
I think that websites should be more aware of what the reviews are publishing, how they're published, and especially your integration into OpenCritic.
How do people like this get to make reviews, but we can't?
We make reviews. We make them.
But I mean, like, I'm talking about they get the keys early and stuff. Why
Sure.
don't we get the keys?
I mean, apparently that person had to buy their copy for what it's worth.
So we can buy them early?
I will fight to the death for people's right to share their opinion, whether I agree with that opinion or not. However, I think if you're going to share that opinion, you need to be first clear with your opinion. And you need to, second, make sure everybody knows that you're not being paid for your opinion. When you give a 5 out of 5 on the site where it matters and a 4 out of 5 on the site where it doesn't, it looks a little suspect. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta do one more. One
Okay.
more.
All right.
I will close out.
God.
Neo 2 review. Rage-inducing, soul-crushing fun. Okay?
Sure, I can see
And
that.
here's the first line. Before clicking the link, it says, when it comes to difficult games, Neo 2 is an incredibly deep and engaging experience that makes Dark Souls look like Kirby's Dream Land.
I mean, Neo has more options, I guess. But Kirby's Dream Land's not that difficult, so... That's a line. I just don't want it to seem like, for anybody who's watching this, I don't want it to seem like we're hounding this one individual reviewer, this one outlet. Because I think a lot of outlets and a lot of reviewers have this problem. But be clear if you're getting paid. Be clear. It's not okay to be paid for a review and not disclose it. And a lot of people don't disclose it. You need to disclose when you're being paid. Like how we disclose that we're being supplanted by Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yeah, and Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, all of their reviews say that they purchased the copy of the game. So they're not being given keys. They're going out of their way to buy them.
That's good. I know a couple different reviewers on YouTube that do that always buy their games.
Now,
HTTs.
some of the reviews I've looked at say they were given a key.
So how do you go about purchasing these games early? Because I will
You
do
don't.
this.
That's the thing. You don't. You have to wait until they come out to purchase it. That's what when they're saying they're purchasing it, that means they're waiting until it comes out to review.
Minecraft Dungeons, 5 out of 5.
We should move on to the next game so it doesn't feel like we're just picking on anybody.
I do want to play Minecraft Dungeons, though.
I have no desire to play it at all.
I heard it's actually really good. Except that there's no mining or crafting.
Yes.
Good.
But there are dungeons.
So
we talked about it already.
Yep.
Next
I'm
up
not gonna
is
go into it.
Risk of Rain 2 reviews. So, before we dive into this is a difficult game to discuss reviews on because this is not the first time it's gotten a review. There are reviews for early access, and there are reviews for full release. And OpenCritic does not have a differentiator between. The only way to check is the actual date. However, that said, the recommended score will be weighted by actual release. The average score will be weighted by life of product. So, those two numbers could be drastically different, but they don't necessarily have to be, depending on the game. Now that I've explained that, Risk of Rain 2, sequel to Risk of Rain, a generated world that is different every run. What do you guys think the score is?
82.
Okay.
$78?
Okay.
I don't know.
Pushing the button. We got 80, 83, Nintendo 75, 86. It said we could go a good 85, Artaka says. It's 87. Pretty good score.
That's a good
Excuse me?
And again, that is for life of product. So that means that 87 is from all the old reviews and the new reviews. The average is 87. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So, let me read
That's one of the best reviewed games of the year.
Yeah, it actually unironically is. Like, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games that are higher rated than it. It's in the top 10.
Oh my Top 10. Okay, let me open up Steam real quick.
So, let me read you some of these reviews. I'm only going to read reviews from official release. I'm not going to read early access reviews. Game Revolution says, as far as I'm concerned, Risk of Rain 2 is as good as gaming gets. Destructoid says, despite my qualms with certain challenges and the last boss, I cannot get enough of Risk of Rain 2. I love the characters and discovering secrets while setting new goals for myself. As someone who mostly bounced off the first game, the sequel sucked me in like a primordial cube.
Yeah, I bounced off the first game hard.
Then we have GameSpot, who says Risk of Rain 2 is an exciting roguelike with an adrenaline-pumping pace, fantastically varied perks, and intriguing secrets to spare. So, what do you guys think the recommended score is?
Okay, 87.
Okay.
That's a good guess. 87. It's in the 90s.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's in the 90s for sure. Or is it that coveted 100 spot?
Maybe.
I'm gonna say 100. I'm gonna say everyone recommends it.
Okay. Push the button. We got 94, 93, 95, 88, 80, 88. It said we could go. The answer is 100.
Dang.
Chakpacento.
Nice.
This is a recommendation from every recent review. So, yeah, I will tell you, any reviews that are relatively negative are from early release. All of the recent reviews are really, really good. The first one I read off from Game Revolution is a 5 out of 5. I also didn't read off a 10 out of 10, a 9.5 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. Destructoids is an 8.5 out of 10. Then there was an 84 out of 100, an 81 out of 100. GameSpot's was an 8 out of 10, and Nintendo Life also gave it an 8 out of 10. So.
Did the gamer review it?
No.
Boo.
So. This is in a really good place right now. It just came out. It could still get more reviews. That could still bump that 87 up. This could be a very strong contender for top 5 if things continue to change. Because, as Andrew pointed out, anything above an 85 is not just a good game in the way that OpenCritic works. That's a great game.
Yeah.
And so, it does not take a lot to go from 87 to 90. But it takes a lot to go from 84 to 85, if that makes sense. So. Well, that's the good thing, man. It's not early access anymore. It's official release. So now everything after this is just icing on the cake. That's a new, I'm going to do that from now on. I just thought of that and I'm proud of it. I'm going to do that from now on.
Don't do it again, please.
It's just icing on the cake. So that concludes our reviews for the week. Now we got some game announcements and we had a state of play. Real quick, did you guys know that I was informed by a commenter that I should be more animated during these segments? That I should be going, next we have game announcements!
For all the hardcore gamers out there.
I will let you all know that I am being reserved and not subjecting you to all of that. It just says, don't. So, Crash 4 has a release date. And it is October 2nd.
Nice.
That is so bad.
Quick.
Yep. They also specified during it will have no microtransactions. All the cosmetics are earned by completing levels. And that you can play through the entire game as Coco if you want to. So
Okay.
I say, let me clarify. I say entire game. Any Crash level can be played as Coco instead. There are other levels where you will play as other characters.
Yeah.
Including
But still.
Dingo Dial.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for that.
This game might be like super good.
Yeah. Very excited right now.
I was super worried. but I'm not
I
as
was
worried
too.
as I was.
Every unlockable unlocked in game. They have a cool thing that was mentioned in here of like a secondary mode for the game where like you beat the levels and then you can go back and like do the level again with a different filter layered over the top of it, and the filter changes the level. So like one of
Yeah.
them turns a like city level into an underwater like Atlantis, and you're underwater. Another one has like the like synth wave kind of thing. It all looks really cool.
And there's one that has like an old timey grainy like
Mhm.
movie filter,
Yeah.
and everything moves sped up.
Yeah.
So it actually changes how you play the levels.
Yep.
Which I love that so much more than just like, oh, here's a time trial.
I need you guys to cover for me for like 45 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay, we're gonna count down 45. Pat, I need you here.
Sorry, I was
I need-
responding. My girlfriend is potentially converting to the PC Master Race, so I'm doing groundwork right now.
Never mind. Keep up the good work on the front
Yeah.
lines.
I'm not here doing the Lord's work, okay?
The Lord, yeah. Trey's not here. We can talk about the Lord's work. Oh, I love that. I love that. Trey leaves and Band just says, "Be right back" as well. Yeah, that's nice.
They're doing something together, playing.
Yeah, this is a little bad.
No, so I'm gonna be looking at potentially putting together a kind of like a bargain build, one that's not too expensive,
Yeah.
and then kind of work with her on buying parts over time. That way she can save up and build her own PC. But it took me some time. But her friend didn't realize it. But her friend didn't realize it. But he also encouraged her to get the PC. So
Nice.
I have a G-Sync monitor for sale.
hey man, might take you up.
G-Sync, 144 hertz,
So
Wait, what size is it?
24 inch.
Okay, we're gonna talk after the podcast.
sorry I had to run out. One of my cats, the crazy one, has started, I don't know why, he started climbing into the trash can in the bathroom and pushing all the trash out so he can curl up in it. And I'm sure you guys couldn't hear it because of the awesome filter that's on here. But he wasn't crying for help, but I could hear him scratching. And what that means is that he's flipped the trash can over on top of himself and he can't get out.
Oh no!
And it's happened 4 times today. This is the 4th. So I'm gonna have to get rid of that trash can. Like, that's the only choice I got at some point, right? Like, like, why is he doing this? I sent out a tweet the other day that he was doing it, and when I went in there to figure out what was happening, he jumped out of the trash can, ran into the living room, jumped up on the couch, spun around so he was hanging upside down, and then just looked at me. And I thought my cat was possessed for a second. I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I may have to leave again if he does it again. But
for some reason that reminded me. This is off topic, but little break after reviews. I'm working from home.
yeah,
The next 2 weeks, and I'm on the phone with somebody from work, and I hear this tapping on my window. So right here, I mean, obviously I can't see, but it's literally right here, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Look, it's a bird, and it's like pecking at my window, and it won't stop. Well, it flies away, then it comes back and it starts doing it again. And I look, I'm like, what is it pecking at? I look, there's a spider on the inside of the window, and it's trying to kill it. I'm like, no, buddy, I will kill it for you, but you are not going to break my window because you're hungry.
I just want to point out, Chad has pointed out, specifically Kat pointed out, all I have to do is close the bathroom door.
That is an option.
One I didn't consider at all. In my head, I was like, all right, I got to get rid of the trash can, or I got to put a new lid on the trash can, or I got to do something to keep the cat out of the trash can. And I didn't consider the can was in a room
Trey's got that open door dumping policy.
I live alone. I can poop with the door open if I want to.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he does, that bathroom doesn't even have a door.
It does have a door. So one of
He
my
took
two
the door off.
Have I ever talked about this? I don't mean to just like derail us incredibly here. Have you ever talked about this? One of my bathrooms doesn't have a door. When I bought the house, it just didn't have one. So like, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Look,
Trey opens the front door of his house when he takes a poop because
Look.
no doors can be open when he poops.
look, why would I install it? Look, so that's a bathroom that's attached to a bedroom. So if I need to close the door, like if people are there, I just close the bedroom door and then I can go to the bathroom. It's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, anytime people come to my house, I close the bathroom door or the bedroom door anyway.
What?
'Cause
Hold
people
on.
don't need to be in my
The
bathroom.
The bathroom door came to your bedroom?
Well, there's no bathroom door. That's the thing.
No,
Yeah.
sorry. The bathroom came to your bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I asked you about that like years ago. when
Yeah,
I came,
there's
like,
just no door. I don't know why.
I was like, dude, what's going on?
So the thing about the bedroom then smelling is that I can't smell. So why buy a door? It had to be a really wide door too, because it's like a wide opening.
It is a
So,
wide
like-
opening.
Like why?
It's like 2 doors wide.
Yeah, it's like why would I install something there? It's really weird. I don't know why they made this house like this, but I got it cheap.
That's probably why, honestly.
That's true. That's true.
They made the bathroom and they were like, we ran out enough stuff to make this wall longer. And they were like, no door.
fine.
It's fine. Just
It's
no
fine.
door. It'll be a walk-in bathroom. And
That's
when they
just like-
take a poop, it'll smell everywhere.
So the water heater is not inside the house. To get to my water heater, I have to go outside the house and around to the spot in the bathroom where it's at. And there's a door on the outside of the house that doesn't have a knob. There's a string drilled into the metal door that's then tied to the side of the building, drilled in over there. So when I have to check the water heater, I have to unscrew those 2 screws. Then I can pull the string free so that I can open that door to check out the water heater. I got the house cheap, okay?
Every house has its quirks.
So, you know. I could install a doorknob back there, but how often do I actually need to get into the water heater, you know? It's not a big deal. I mess with it like once a year. It's fine.
I don't know what's funnier, like thinking about Trey looking at something that most people would think is practical, like, oh, I should just do this. Trey's like, nah, that's fine.
Have I talked
Hey,
about
I'm
how
the same way.
Have I talked about how I lock my door?
No.
So when those people tried to break into my house a long time ago, they broke my doorknob, and I got a new doorknob and tried to install it, but the door frame is broken too. Like they actually like splintered the door frame, and I was like, okay, I'll get that fixed at some point. And so what I do is I take a piece of metal and run it behind the door, so the door physically cannot open unless you're able to bend that piece of metal that's attached to the side of the door frame. And eventually I'll replace the entire door frame. But the door's in bad shape too from when they tried to break in. But it's a good metal door. And I don't want to get rid of it because it's still a good metal door. So I'll just replace the whole thing at the same time whenever I do eventually replace it all.
It's not happening.
Right now I have a cool metal door with a cool metal hinge.
Do you think, Trey, if somebody broke into your house and you're not home, and they go into your room and they see the lights and the green screen and all the collectibles, that they just go, oh hell no.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like my ex-girlfriend.
They walk in, they're like, why does this guy have so much Dr. Pepper? And then they walk into the office and they're like, there's more Dr. Pepper. And then they see all the stuff and they're like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
No, my mom
Wrong
knows how
house,
broken
guys.
stuff is. The thing is, though, like when stuff's actually broken and doesn't work anymore, I will fix it. But as long as it can work, even if it works in a weird way, I don't fix it.
That, my
Because
friend, it's called balling on a budget.
so exactly, like that's the
Band-Aids
thing. Why
exist.
replace it when I don't have to? You know?
Yeah. That's a Band-Aid.
It's kind of like my broken foot. Why go to the doctor if I can still walk on?
The funny
Why is
thing
your
is
foot
though,
broken?
It was just a joke. I didn't break my.
when I was
Oh,
a
okay.
maintenance man for the umbrella factory Andrew and I used to work at, that I would never do. Like for the work stuff, I could not do that. I had to fix it legitimately. I had to actually fix the problem. Then I would come home and go, yeah, I have the stuff to fix this, but it still works. So, you know, as
I
long as it
fixed
works.
stuff all day today. I'm not fixing shit.
It's like,
Yeah.
to clarify, when they broke the window back here, I replaced the window. I didn't just go, well, it's fine. I'll put some tape there. I replaced the window.
Just board it up.
When
Fine.
my oven broke, I bought a pizza oven because I never used the oven for anything other than heating up pizzas.
I was about to say, Trey, you literally just make pizzas.
Yeah, that's it. I used the stovetop, but I didn't use the interior of the oven for anything. When my griddle broke, I got a new griddle. I didn't just try and, I don't know, light a fire on it. I don't know how I would have used that still.
Yeah, I don't know how you would have done that.
It's
You don't
fine.
do well with fire.
Look, I do great with fire. Fire doesn't
No,
do
you
well
don't.
with me.
Remember when you almost set your house on fire?
Look, we're getting off track. We're supposed to be talking about video games right now. Game announcements still up on
Says
the
the
screen.
person that's still talking about how they have different ways
You
to
guys see
fix
my
things
cool Dr.
without fixing
Hitternick
them.
shirt? Have you seen my shirt? I'm gonna derail a different way.
Spelunky,
That's
too.
a good idea. That's a good idea, man. No, when I am not in my house is impossible to get into unless you have a key. Because that metal is in the way and you cannot open it. I mean, I guess you could break another window, but you know. Please don't. Don't break my windows. Have I ever talked about how horrifying that was when that window broke and I was awake? I'm sure I did on the podcast when it happened.
Yeah, when it happened, you talked about it.
I was terrified. I didn't sleep, I already don't sleep. I didn't sleep at all for weeks. Like, I was horrified.
But now you got ADT.
Now I got AD Zeke.
Yeah, you got ADT.
And AD Zeke is an ADC.
An all damage carry? Auto damage carry?
Yeah, that's it. So, Spelunky 2 coming out September 15th. Yeah, that's terrifying. That's not great at all, Kat. I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you guys know
Yeah,
what
they
my
had a-
biggest... Go ahead.
I was gonna say that weird thing off a Cat's thing. Woke up to this house we were renting probably 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Woke up, walk into the living room, ceiling fan on the coffee table. Just hanging out.
Solid.
Yeah.
So,
That fan had enough. It was
I'm-
like, screw this.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break. How's it going?
So now I'm constantly afraid ceiling fans are just gonna fall on me.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Okay, now I have to tell a weird story.
All right.
Otherwise.
All right.
So, the apartment that we live in originally was a medicine store. This building was made in like 1907, and I'm not joking. Like, I think that's the date that's written outside. Super old building. Well, the living room area, the ceiling is literally like 15 feet high. So the ceiling fan is 15 feet in the air. You can't get up there unless you have a ladder.
Right.
So you got two switches that turns it on and off, but that's about it. When those lights go out, I'm not going up there to replace them. So,
Yeah, I don't
oh
blame
well. I'm terrified that one day that fan's just gonna take a trip.
Yeah.
And that's 15 feet. That's a long time for something to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this room that I'm in is right above that room. There's nothing below this room to add stability, like no pillar or nothing.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of like stability. And I'm worried one day I'm gonna be doing the podcast and I'm just gonna go through the floor.
Let's hope that never happens.
Oh yeah, we're trying to move out. We're trying to move out soon as I can make some moves happen.
Yeah, let's hope that never happens. You know what
Fine.
I hope does happen, though?
Spelunky 2.
Spelunky 2 coming out on September 15th. I hope that actually comes out. Do you know what my biggest issue with Spelunky 1 was?
I wouldn't know because I never played it.
I wanted to play it with friends, but it was couch co-op only.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the new feature coming to Spelunky 2 is? More
Still
playable
couch co-op.
characters. No, it's online co-op.
So I'm super excited for.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Spelunky. Oh,
cool.
you know what?
It's
I have played Spelunky. I played it with you. Bless you.
oh my gosh, that sneeze gave me a
Remember
headache.
we played it. We played it using Steam's. Bless you. We
Thank
used
you.
it playing Steam's.
Steam play together.
Play together. Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, it was really fun playing it that way without having to have people.
Three sneezes and you're just begging for attention.
Look, I only have so many blessings I can give out a day. I'm like capped out. So I'm gonna need you to fucking stop. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks great. It looks really solid. I think that
Another random Saitama.
I'm sorry. I have to get the now discussing tab back up. So sometimes it takes a minute. Yeah, I think it looks really solid. New items, new stuff, new modes, new characters. Now you're going in space. So like there's crazy stuff going on. It's really cool.
Spelunky in space.
As long as I can steal from the shopkeeper still, I'm happy.
You can.
That's all I care about.
There's also Genshin Impact is coming out this autumn. So this is a game that has been in demos around events for a while. Nobody knew if it was ever actually going to come out. It is it's something. I wish I could tell you based on the demos and trailers what it is, but I don't know.
I think it's open world. Some
It's
people are
an
calling
open
it
world action RPG.
Yeah.
It looks like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, people are calling it Breath of the Weeb.
Yeah, sure, that's fair. I don't know if it's an MMO or not. It looks like
I don't
an
think
MMO,
so.
but
It does. I don't think it is.
that's where I'm at too. It looks like one, but I don't think it is. I think it's single player with parties, like you can pair up with NPCs. But it looks cool. I think the art style, again, it's very Breath of the Wild, but it doesn't look bad at all. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Then there was
That's-
Anno.
Hold on. I
Go ahead,
think it's
sorry.
also free
Really?
to play. I think it's got some gacha systems in it for
Oh,
like
I bet it
unlocking
does.
party
I
members.
bet it does. I bet it does. I had myself muted, so chat couldn't hear that, but you guys had to hear it. I apologize, Andrew and Pat, but sometimes you gotta blow your nose. Anno Mutationem is a 2D side-scrolling game. Looked pretty cool. Where you could like also go in side passages and do stuff.
I don't remember that one.
It was only on screen for a little while. It wasn't like a big thing. But after that was Vader Immortal. That is
Which I think it's already out on Oculus.
Yeah, I think it's already on Oculus as well. So cool to see PSVR Star Wars game. Looks pretty cool.
I have that.
Do you?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I have PSVR.
After that is PSVR. I thought you meant Vader Immortal. After that is Auto Chess coming out October 31st. So, hey, if you're itching for Auto Chess, there you go. There you go. After that is The Pedestrian, which is a pretty interesting looking game. It is a puzzle game where it comes out, by the way, January 2021. It's a puzzle game where you play as a character in street signs, and you have to make it from one sign to the other sign, but you're also playing as the person helping that little stick person getting across the signs. And it looks pretty cool, honestly. I liked the look of it a lot. So make sure to check that one out if you're interested in a good-looking puzzler. Following that is Hood, Outlaws, and Legends, which is coming to PS5 in 2021. I don't know what this game is because they only showed us a CGI trailer. It looks like a team-based game that has PvE elements as well, PvP, PvE together, like Halo 5 Guardians mode.
Is it like a heist game?
Yes and no. So like the from what I could tell, the CGI trailer showed them sneaking into a place to steal something, but then there was another team of players already there. And so there were guards, and then there was also the two teams of players. It looked like a hero-based, almost like a chivalry-like, but with range stuff and with team stuff, and I don't know. They didn't show any gameplay. They just showed the CGI trailer, but it could be good. It could be good. And then that's the last of our big like announcements. We also have some news, which includes Hitman VR mode coming to PSVR. You ever wanted to play? You ever want to play Hitman 1 or 2 in single or first person mode with VR?
I'm not a psychopath, so not really.
Because I never had, but I do now. It seems cool. So excited for that.
That's part of Hitman 3?
Yes, it's part of Hitman 3. This one might be a little bit controversial. I'm curious how you guys feel about this. Braid Anniversary Edition has been announced. So, Pat, you might not have ever heard about Braid. Braid was like a huge internet thing and then died off pretty quick after, I guess, second year of Xbox 360? When it came out, it was one of the highest reviewed games ever. And then it fell off really hard. It is a puzzle game where you use time mechanics to turn back time to be able to solve the puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
At the time when it came out, I thought it was really good. I replayed it, what was it, Andrew, 5 or 6 years ago that I talked about it?
It's been a while.
And I hated it. So, I don't know if I just need to play it again. I mentioned this during the State of Play where it was like, first play I really liked it. After that, I really didn't. So maybe I just need to play it again. But,
No, you don't.
Came out in 2008.
Yeah. It has a really good art style that I don't know if this Anniversary Edition is doing a lot of credit to. I think that some of it looks really good, and some of it doesn't look really good. So, I don't know. I'm going to pick it up anyway because it's got a bunch of developer stuff in there, like commentaries and stuff like that, and I want to check that stuff out. So, I'm going to pick it up anyway. But, I don't know. I think some of it they made colors pop, right? And some of it they smoothed in a way that I don't know that it had to be. But I'm torn.
Yeah, I think Braid is one of the most overrated games ever. So
Sure, I definitely would agree with that. I think it's Braid, Undertale. Even though Undertale's good, I still think it's very overhyped. Five Nights at Freddy's and maybe Minecraft, honestly.
Apparently, Minecraft now is still even more so better than it was, vanilla.
Yeah. Well, I just mean when it comes to like people overhyping stuff.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
would be up there with JoJo's, which is really good. It's been ruined for a lot of people because of the overhyping. After that, we got some footage of the Pathless and got to walk through some stuff with it. The Pathless is that game that they showed off where you were sliding around the environment. You had a hawk, and it's got that really interesting art style.
Yeah.
It's an open world game.
it looks boring.
It's an open world game.
Uh,
I still want to give it a chance because I love that art style. But they pretty much confirmed that it's clear the map to get to the high point, to do the tower, to fight the boss. Which is very much
so ready.
open world. Here we go. Clear the map, hit the tower, fight the boss. Here we go. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's the
Yeah,
shame.
it was so empty. It looked so empty and boring that I had it up when I was at work, and I just completely ignored it until that game disappeared
I
off my
still think
screen.
the art style is real pretty. And I think the idea of having to shoot the targets at just the right time to continue sliding forward is really cool. I don't know how easy that's going to be. I feel like it could be very punishing during those boss fights where you clearly have to be doing that. But we'll see, I guess. We'll find out. I don't know why I put Spelunky 2 having online multiplayer on the docket again when we were already going to talk about it during Spelunky 2, but it's fine.
I think that I'm looking at the walkthrough gameplay that they did. I think the game looked more interesting before this, and now I'm a lot less interested.
I agree. I think the original trailer made it look really tight,
I don't like the idea of the movement where you have to shoot things to me it's just so unrealistic as far as like
I think the art style gives into that unrealism feeling, Like it's not trying to be, but I agree with you. That's very strange. That's why I'm kind of excited about it because it's weird. But I
hope it's good because I want to play it, but I'm losing hype now. Now I'm like, okay, I don't really want to play this now.
I think the idea that pattern that we mentioned before of clear the map, hit the tower, fight the boss has to be open world is incredibly bad for game design because you can do, as Jen put it, you can do that same thing in an enclosed level or in a focused linear experience. And I'm not saying it has to be linear. I'm not saying any game has to be linear. I'm just saying that when you tell a player, here you go, the whole world's your oyster, just go do whatever you want to do. That's what happens in Destiny 2. And it's so incredibly overwhelming that I wanted to quit immediately. So, I'm just saying maybe you can have a little bit of guidance in your open world. It's okay. It's okay. Or in your list of levels. That's fine too. Following that, we have Control's Awe expansion is coming out August 27th.
I would be more excited for this if the end of that game wasn't so dreadful.
Yeah. I hope that they fix that. I really do. I hope that they go back and fix the ending. I don't know what this expansion is supposed to be because I don't think the first expansion was that great. The first one was like filling out story for other characters in the story that weren't any of the characters I cared about. It was the one security lady. This one could be good. It looks like it might be about Dylan. Don't know for sure. But we'll see. I bought the expansion pass, so I'll find out.
Yeah.
Because I liked the base game that much, but we'll find out. I think that game is so close to being one of my favorite games ever, and all it needed was just a couple more changes to be there. So I'm really, more than an expansion, I'm still kind of hoping for a Control 2 that hits the nail on the head for what I want out of that game. But man, this is a tough thing we got to talk about. Aeon Must Die is maybe the coolest game that was shown State of Play. We saw it originally during E3. It looks incredible. This game, I don't normally tell you what to do with your money. You should not buy this game. I don't care how good. You should not buy this game. Literally right after State of Play came out, right after it ended, we got news that the entire development team had been removed from the game and that the guy that had stolen the rights to the game was going to continue publishing it through Sony. So the team that made that art style, the artist that made that art style, are no longer on the team. They no longer have any, they won't get any money from it. The idea is gone because they didn't double check their contracts to make sure it couldn't be taken from them. So if you'll remember, not even 6 months ago, we had this exact conversation about Kerbal Space Program 2.
Yep.
It just happened again with Aeon Must Die. If you were working on a game, check your contract before you sign it. If you are a part of that team, check your contract to make sure it says that your shares cannot be bought out from under you. Check your contract to make sure that it says that the game cannot be outsourced to someone else and you lose your ability to make income on that game. Because otherwise you will do work for that game and it will be great and you will have put your heart and soul into it and they will steal it away from you.
Big corporations.
Yep. Every time.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
And they didn't even the team didn't even make the trailer.
Nope.
Because they were
didn't
gone
know.
before that.
They didn't know that they were even going to get to be in a state of play because they got fired before they had a chance. So.
And weren't they not paid?
Yeah, no, they were not paid for the work that they did.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, first off, don't work without getting paid. Don't do that to yourself. I don't care how much they say it's exposure. I don't care how much they say, don't worry, this game's going to be great, and then it's going to be really cool, and everybody's going to know your name. Do not work if you're not getting paid. Do not do it. Because they're going to scam you. Always.
Yeah. Big company does not care about you.
Yeah. And again, Sony took the game anyway. So big companies, as Andrew put it, they don't care.
Yeah.
Sony said, this will sell. Look at how cool it looks. This will sell.
But who cares who makes it? It looks cool. So somebody will make it and make money off of it.
I'm with Jim. The fact that this even can be legal is ridiculous to me. Let's talk about Yoshinori Ono leaving Capcom. So, this came off the heels of the announcement that Street Fighter V is getting more DLC. It's getting Dan Hibiki is being added as DLC. Rose and Akira from Rival Schools are being added. And Yoshinori Ono's leaving. So, Pat, do you know who Yoshinori Ono is?
Nope.
Okay. Andrew, how do you feel about Yoshinori Ono leaving?
Now remind me who this is. I read about this, but I don't remember who this is.
Okay, let me give you the breakdown. Yoshinori Ono is the man who has been in charge of Street Fighter for the last 30 years. He is the guy that has made the good decisions, and he is the guy that has made the bad decisions. So, what do you think? You think it's a good thing? You think it's a bad thing? You think he should stick around? He's not going to, but...
Yeah, I would say now with Street Fighter V, I would say it's time for a shakeup a little bit. Let's get some fresh eyes on it for Street Fighter VI, which supposedly is pushed back until like 2023 or something.
Yeah,
because they're still making DLC for Street Fighter V. Yeah, get some fresh eyes in the franchise, and let's see what somebody else can do with it.
So when I first heard this news, I was immediately disappointed. I was like, oh, come on. He's been doing it forever. Why would Capcom get rid of him now? And then I remembered whose decision it was to put on-disc DLC in Street Fighter 4.
Uh-huh.
Then I remembered whose decision it was to launch Street Fighter 5 without the story mode. Then I remembered whose decision it was to launch Street Fighter 5 with a handful of characters as compared to the entire cast. Then I remembered whose decision it was to continue to nickel and dime players by releasing Street Fighter V characters as DLC little by little by little by little by little in incredibly expensive packs. And then I said, you know what? Maybe it is time for somebody new to take over the Street Fighter brand.
Yeah.
So, I fully believe with everything in me that Street Fighter V is the biggest misstep that franchise has ever taken.
Now, do we know if he was let go or if he just decided?
So he said he was leaving. Stuff has come out, interior of Capcom, that has said that his position was given to someone else, and he didn't want the position that he was being given, so he quit.
He got demoted.
Yes. Which is also when Street Fighter got pushed back. Because apparently his goal for Street Fighter 6 was not... I'll put it this way. From what has been said that I don't have proof of, Street Fighter 6 was going to be more of Street Fighter 5. And Capcom said, no. No, we're not making that mistake again. So... yeah, it's the Halo 5 of Street Fighter, 100%. That's exactly what Street Fighter 5 is. It's a game that was ridiculously hyped, that because they wanted to try and make as much money as possible out of it, instead of trying to make a good game, it flopped. So. Pat, do you care about Street Fighter?
A little bit.
Ryu's pretty cool.
I just don't know.
Pretty cool.
I don't know enough about company to be able to comment.
I don't have a name. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I hope that Street Fighter, I guess, becomes quote unquote better, because I don't like the way they did Street Fighter V personally. But my favorite Street Fighter game was the one that I played on the Super Nintendo, and I can't remember which one exactly it was. I think it was Street Fighter 2.
That's fair. FF2 is really good. At this point, I just want Street Fighter 6 to care about its players at least a little bit. I want it to be consumer friendly. I'm so like, everybody's tired of microtransactions, right? I'm so tired of this idea of we'll launch the game with 12 characters, and by the time the game's finished, it'll have 29 or 30. Well, how much did each of those characters cost? $5 a piece.
Yep.
And it's like,
But Trey, you can earn them with fight money.
yeah, with an extremely high amount of fight money you never earn unless you only played Street Fighter V.
Yeah, it's just a money grab now.
Yeah. Like, make good games. It's not like, again, I go back to Warframe. I even go back to League, of all things. If you make a game that people like to play, I don't think League is perfect with it. I don't think even Warframe's perfect with it. But if you make a game that's fun to play, that's free, people will spend more money. If you make a game that's fun to play, that's $60, and you include reasonable microtransactions, cosmetics only, that people want, they will still pay for them. But when you nickel and dime people, I stopped covering Street Fighter V on this channel because I didn't want to keep buying the characters.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not one to talk. Bandai Namco gets all of my money with Gundam because I always buy the DLC, but I'm making videos with them. And half of those DLC videos are, I don't know if this was worth buying. I don't know if this was worth spending money on.
See, I don't feel like it's right to charge $60 for a game, and then, you know, have you also pay for things like, even cosmetics. Like, I just don't think that's fair. Like, make it a $40 game.
Yeah.
And then, if you make it a $40 game, I'll easily spend $20 on cosmetics.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, well, now I've paid full price for this game, and I got stuff that I wanted, and if I want more, I will.
But I also come from the day when games just had everything available in-game. You just had to work for it. And so I fully understand that my taste for it is very low, right? Like, just don't, please.
As long as there's a way to get them in-game, that's fine. But it needs to be reasonable, like a tangible thing. Like with League, for example, League, you actually can earn everything in-game. And it might take you a while, but it's not extremely unreasonable.
I agree.
They give you dailies and stuff like that that help you get to where you need to be able to earn all that stuff.
I wish that League, I wish you could choose the skin that you unlock, honestly. Like, a lot of my, the champion shards and the skin shards, a lot of my complaint about earning them in-game would go away with that. But you can eventually get them anyway with Blue Essence. Well, not the skins, but the champions. So,
well,
not that big of a deal.
So are you re-rolling the skins?
Well, no, I'm talking about just like when you get a shard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's more loot boxy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like I said, it's not as bad as most games that do that.
And I think gaming... Go ahead.
Oh, I always bring up Overwatch, but I think Overwatch did it right. But
I think gaming used to be worse about this. The one that I always go back to in my head is Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 had a story important character that was locked as day one DLC for $5 extra. Day one. But you could get that character without having to pay the $5 if you pre-ordered the game. Also, we have this multiplayer mode. And if you want to play this multiplayer mode, then, there's loot boxes in there. And so you should probably pay some money to get those. Also, you could just outright buy these armors you wanted, but that's going to be a lot more expensive. And in the single player, hey, you got your Shepherd. I bet you want your Shepherd to look cool, right? Here's Mountain Dew exclusive skins. Here's Dorito exclusive skins. And over here, we got DiGiorno exclusive skins. So you better be buying all these items and trying to get those codes so you can get these skins that you want in game.
See, what they should do, you know what Call of Duty did right, in my opinion.
What's that?
When it
He
comes
used to do that.
when it comes to drinks, well, you buy the Mountain Dew. I mean, that's how they have been doing it recently. Like, say you buy a Mountain Dew, you get a code for like a double XP, 2 hours of double XP.
Yeah, that's
cool.
That's a nice extra, right?
That's how that stuff should be handled. Not if you buy 72 Mountain Dews, 100 boxes of DiGiorno, 22 family-sized bags of Doritos, and you spend $600. You can also get the first expansion.
Yeah, I remember like map packs in Call of Duty used to be the worst.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, you want 4 maps for $15? And people bought it, so they kept doing it.
Yeah, the only way that I play Call of Duty online now typically is I don't buy the DLC. And once it gets past that and people start buying the maps and like you can't really queue anymore.
Yeah.
I'll queue in. I can't ever remember what it's called until I look it up and do it. But there's like MLG gaming and then there's like the league below it that's kind of available to anyone. I'll hop in those games because those people like you're not allowed to play with the new stuff.
Yeah.
So you join a custom lobby and then you play with the official rules and it's fun.
Well, they don't have map packs anymore for COD.
No, and that's the thing I was going to bring up is one of the cooler things they started doing too is they would add new maps in rotations. And so you could learn the new maps as they came out. As compared to you bought Modern Warfare 3 2 months after it came out. The first map pack's been out for 18 days, whatever, I don't care. 18 days. You buy the map pack, you're learning those maps, everybody else knows those maps already. Whereas you could get in on the rollout for the free launch of maps with the newer Call of Duties and you could get in there. So we should probably move on from Yoshinori Ono. I have some more bad news for everybody. We got some delays.
Yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed.
It's never coming out.
Indefinitely, basically. Let me read off what they said. I spelled delay wrong for anybody who was watching the stream, watching me type. We are moving the launch of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 to 2021. Our goal has always been to deliver the best game possible, to immerse you into a Seattle reimagined in the world of darkness and deliver a worthy successor to the original Bloodlines game. I'm going to stop right here for a second because I want to ask you, do you remember when I read off one of these in 2019 when they announced it would be moved? Because the next sentence is exactly the same.
They threw down that January 2020 date, and I got so excited.
I'm going to read this sentence, and you're going to get deja vu and whiplash. You're going to get deja vlash.
Deja vu.
Due to the quality bar and ambitions we have set for ourselves, we have made the difficult decision that we need more time. I want to clarify, I think it's fine to say that. But this is the second time they've used that exact sentence. So, I think it's good to have more time to make a good game. But this is the third push. If it gets pushed again, it's never coming out.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because a lot of people are excited for it, but that is just the way of it at this point. That is how it works in video games, unfortunately. Halo Infinite has also been delayed.
Didn't they just have a huge thing about Halo Infinite too?
Yes.
That's so stupid.
So, my question for all of you, they stated basically the same thing. They need more time. Do you think this was caused by the backlash for the graphics?
I feel like it kind of has to be at least in part of that, because why would they show it off and announce a holiday 2020 date and then just to delay it?
I think it either has to be that, I don't think the graphics look bad either, Jen. I think it either has to be that people said that and they panicked a little bit, or that something broke.
Yeah.
Because
Or the multiplayer's not ready. Even though they said it's going to be a separate free-to-play thing, maybe it's not ready. They want to release them at the same time.
Could be. It could be a battle royale. I hope not, but I mean, it's probably going to have one anyway. But I hope that's not why
it's going to have one already.
Yeah. But my guess is something broke and something big.
I'm wondering if they already knew it was going to be delayed.
Maybe.
But the event was coming up and they needed something for the event.
Yeah,
so they were like, we got to show this off from the event.
That's a good point.
And then it gets everyone hyped, but then they're like, oh, but by the way, still buy the Xbox because it's going to be on there, but we don't know when.
I think if that's the truth, then that's worse because they could have said in that exhibition, it's not going to be done until 2021 instead of saying holiday 2020.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I wonder if it was a timeline issue. Like they had already sent in this thing, and then there was just like, oh no.
That's what it is, Joel. That's it for sure. They caught Master Chief doing something he should have been doing, and now they got to recast him before the game can come out.
Was it butt stuff?
Probably.
Yeah, that makes
sense. But yeah, I was just curious because like it just after people threw a fit about the graphics, then they announced this delay. It's like,
I mean, it could be any of those things.
But
I mean, look what happened to Sonic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe something good will come out of it.
Maybe. You want to hear about something bad?
I read about this just now.
GoldenEye 2020 or GoldenEye 25 has been cease and desisted.
It looked really cool.
What is GoldenEye 25?
So this was a fan project that was announced a week and a half ago, where they were attempting to bring the GoldenEye style shooter into the new age with a new engine, and looked really good. Fan project, really cool. There's this thing about your fan projects, though. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, because I know I've said it a handful of times. In fact, I believe I've said it every time we've covered a fan project being cease and desisted on this podcast. If you're making a fan project, stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Don't say a word until it's done, and then you can put it out. If you're just doing it because you want people to think it's cool, wait until it's finished and people will think it's cool. If you're just doing it because you need help, do not ask for help privately. Because what happens is always someone tells the publishers or someone tells the rights holder and they find out somehow and go, that's an illegal use of our IP. We can't do anything about it. We got to stop you. Cease and desist. The only one that has been able to get away with it, to my knowledge, is the Bionicle game, because it doesn't seem like Lego cares. But all the rest of them get slapped as soon as they try to say, hey, check us out. The Metal Gear Solid game, slapped. AM2R, slapped. The guy who's modding Mario Sunshine right now, Mario Sunshine being modded right now, has just recently been issued a slap. You cannot. Halo Online, slap. The Pokemon Uranium, slap. The Pokemon MMO, slap. The Digimon MMO, slap. You cannot do it. Be quiet about your cool project. The Kirby FPS, stop it. Stop talking about your cool stuff. There was a Kirby FPS, and it looked incredible.
We need the Pokemon MMO.
We did. We did.
We have it.
It's Tim Tim.
Tim Tim.
Yeah.
No.
There is a great video by the Wooly Madden, Wooly Versus, about it that is literally said, like, he just goes, you're making this cool thing. Shut the F up. And it's like, it's such a great, I'll plug it as part of my plug. It's such a great video. Yeah, if you're making a thing, don't talk about it, please. The one I was most excited for was the guy that was remaking Rocket Knight. Do you remember that one? He was remaking Rocket Knight, which is a game I don't talk about a lot because I think those games are kind of bad, but it's a game that I love. And he was remaking Rocket Knight in a 3D engine, and it looked great. And he added the company on Twitter to be like, hey, look at this. This is cool, right? And they were like, haha, no.
Not that cool.
So AM2R is maybe the only one that I think Nintendo handled it right with, because Nintendo waited to C&D it until it was done. Until it could be released. Then Nintendo C&D'd it. Because they have to. They have to. That's how copyright law works. They have to. But they waited until it was done first. Yeah, Scott Cawthon's been pretty cool about it. So has Toby Fox. Toby Fox has been pretty cool about people using Undertale stuff. And making their own Undertale stuff. But sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you have to put your foot down and say, hey, you can't use my IP like that. So there was a big deal with Redbubble some time back. I don't know if you guys saw this. That's the site that people can put their art on and sell it as shirts and stuff like that. It's where I get a lot of my shirts. You have to be careful with it though, because anybody can put that stuff up on there. And some devs had to be like, hey, that's our game's merch that you're selling. You didn't make that art. That's just pulled from our game. So, you know, and yeah, that's the thing with this one. Don't call it GoldenEye. Don't call it that thing. Don't make a Pokemon game. Make a Fakemon game. Don't make a Digimon game. Make a Bidymon game. Don't make GoldenEye. Make Schmoldeneye. Nobody cares what it's called if you can get it out there and people like it. AM2R is AM2R because it's another Metroid 2 remake. Silver Ear 25. Yeah, the Mario Battle Royale is another one. Like, you can get away with it. Just name it something else and change the characters a little bit. And sometimes I'll throw out, what's the name of it? Them's Fighting Words. Them's Fighting Herds. Sometimes you can get a really cool game because you had to change the game up, because you were given a cease and desist. Sometimes you can get a much cooler game, I think, than what the final product would have been before. Because I think Them's Fighting Herds is a much cooler game than the My Little Pony fighting game would have been. Because when they were forced to cease and desist and said, all right, we got to change this stuff or we can't keep working on it. They then said, well, what if we add a cool music system? What if we add a dynamic music system that reacts based on which player is in the lead and which player has built up enough, I'm ignoring chat, and which player has built up enough super bar? What if we add a story mode that we could not have added if this was a My Little Pony game? What if we add, and they just went from there, you know? Like, you can do it. Just do it your way. Not Burger King, though. Don't have it your way. Yeah, we'll move on before chat goes nuts. We talked about it during the game announcements and reviews. Which also Risk of Rain 2 1.0 is out. Seems cool. Excited for that. Always glad when games come out. What is this that's been added to the docket?
What are you talking about?
I'm not reading that out because the name's wrong.
I don't know.
Why the hell? What the hell?
I'm not reading that out when the name's wrong. Sam Fisher.
Sam Fisher is back, baby.
All right.
As an operator in Rainbow Six Siege.
Can I take a guess?
What?
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to gamble on this guess. I'm going to gamble live on the podcast. I'm sorry, Mom. I know I said I'd stop. If Sam Fisher has one thing that I think is required for Sam Fisher, I will play Rainbow Six Siege again. And if he doesn't have it, I will continue to not play it. Does he have his night vision goggles?
I'm gonna assume so because it was part of the teaser trailer. A full reveal is coming, I believe, the 16th.
We'll find out.
We will find out. but this will get me back into Siege, unfortunately.
Andrew, do you want to make this a big thing?
What do you mean?
If he does have them, I have to write a 1,000-word essay on why Sam Fisher and Siege is a good game. If he does not have them, you have to write a 1,000-word essay on why it's not a good game. You gonna take that bet?
No, because I believe he's going to have them.
If you believe it, then there you go. I'll have to write the essay. You're fine.
I thought you said he wasn't going to have. You
No,
said
I don't think he's gonna have them.
he's got to have them.
He needs to have them. I don't think they're gonna.
I'm
do
not
it.
writing an essay though. I'm not doing that.
What about sing a song?
No,
You can sing a song about why it's bad.
no,
Okay.
I can't do it. Rainbow
Let the
Six
record
Siege.
show I tried to have a fun bet.
No,
Pat, you gonna take me up on that bet?
I don't even know who Sam Fisher is.
That's fine. You can take me up on the bet.
What? The fuck did you just say?
I don't know who Sam Fisher is.
Oh my god, uncultured.
Sam Fisher is one of the greatest characters in video games, in all video games.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I never played a Splinter Cell game.
Oh my god, you're the reason the stealth genre died.
I think that Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell Conviction is maybe the worst game, but has the coolest moment in it. And it's the moment when Sam Fisher's able to take a guy and shove him through a urinal.
Oh yeah,
That's a really cool moment. Because
I just
Sam
wanna
like
say-
shoves him through and then goes, "You should probably clean up."
I just want to say, I feel like people always forget that for me as a kid, video games was just sports games and Guitar Hero. Like,
Also, by the time you were born, Splinter Cell stopped existing.
well, there you go.
that's not true. That's not true.
It feels like it is, though.
It feels like it's been that long. It does.
No, but like whenever I was a kid, my dad was the one. Yeah, I'm 23. My dad was the one buying the games, and I had very few games that weren't sports games or Guitar Hero or race, like arcade racing.
No, that's fine. We just gotta get you to start catching up. That's fine.
It won't happen.
A little lad. Yeah, you and Adri both have to play Splinter Cell. That's required. Before we ever play another game of League, you have to find out who Sam Fisher is.
So when am I going to play Metal Gear Solid?
Before you find out who Sam Fisher is, that's more important. Solid Snake's more important.
Jesus Christ.
Solid Snake.
Yes, I had VHS tapes.
Solid
did.
Snake
I
is
had
two
it.
stealth games. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I actually have a collection of VHS tapes downstairs.
They're all football.
No, I have the first three, the first three Star Wars movies on VHS.
Heck yeah.
I have a bunch of really good older movies on VHS.
Like Gone with the Wind.
Actually, I think I do have Gone with the Wind.
Sound of Music.
No, I don't have that.
Trash movie, anyways.
That's not true. Take that back.
I have Walking Tall with The Rock.
Oh, shut up.
That's not an old,
I do.
That's not an old movie, but sure.
I know, but I have it on VHS, and it's a
Wait.
good movie.
Alexa, what year did Walking Tall come out? Maybe it is an old movie.
2003.
2004, 16 years ago.
Yeah, 2003. I was close.
Oh,
It's a good movie.
Speaking of
kids have grown
VHS
up and
tapes,
got their license in that time.
speaking of VHS tapes, my dad, I probably have told the story before to y'all. I don't know if I said it on the podcast. My dad recorded over him and my mom's wedding video with the Pittsburgh Penguins 1992 Stanley Cup Finals win. So if nothing else told you the relationship wouldn't last, that should have been it.
Yeah, makes sense.
The amount of WWF main events that I had that were not, I guess you could say bootlegged, or like somebody had recorded them using a VHS recorder. I had so many of those. Like I had WrestleMania 10 or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was watching super old WrestleManias and stuff on a really terribly recorded VHS tape.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes you just gotta get. Oh, Cat, I'm so sorry.
The Fritz finale, no!
Sometimes you just gotta pull out an old VHS tape, you know?
No!
Sometimes you just gotta watch old Pokemon movies that have been taped over by Friends episodes.
That is so bad.
No one told you life was gonna be that way, did they? Oh.
Ooh.
So, let's move on to plugs. You guys have any plugs? That was maybe my favorite joke of the podcast. That one was really good. I'm proud of that one.
I'll play with Venom again. It's terrible for you, but it tastes good.
Hashtag not sponsored.
I'm going to plug Braille Skateboarding.
Okay, yeah.
It is a YouTube channel where the company themselves teach people how to skate.
Yeah.
But they also do like cool events and stuff like that. And I'm going to learn how to skate using a lot of their content. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. I'm also going to plug Mythical Kitchen. Freaking love that YouTube channel. I feel like everybody should watch Mythical Kitchen. They make really cool stuff. And I'm gonna plug UFC with the Daniel Cormier fight. I think it's 252, right?
Okay, we're doing this. We're plugging it all. Yeah, UFC
Apparently.
252. Daniel or Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier 3.
It's the last time we're gonna see that man fight.
Daniel Cormier.
Yep. Also,
It's the last time he can eye rake somebody to fucking death. So that's good.
I'm gonna be in town, Andrew. I'm
Really?
gonna be in town for that fight. If
Oh,
you want to smoke a cigar and make a night out of it.
we're doing it. Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Sean
We'll put it
O'Malley's
in my place.
fighting in that main card, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You got Junior Dos Santos, Sean O'Malley. It's gonna be a good night.
It's going to be a great card. All right. I'm happy now. This Saturday's going to be fun.
It's gonna be a good time.
Okay. Jen is plugging Risk of Rain 2.
Newport.
Band is plugging Char. Both our Patreon and the King of the What Now Patreon. King of the What Now podcast, by the way. Warframe and F14 and Char again. Joel is plugging Black Clover Season 1. God of High School Episode 4, I think 5 is what the last episode was. And then all 4 of their adorable cats and McDonald's McFlurries. Not sponsored. Then Cat's going to plug my shirt. This cool Dr. Duke shirt. Speaking of Black Clover and the King of the What Now podcast, I'm going to plug, they have a special bonus episode they're going to be recording soon on Black Clover Season 1. If you would like to get your comment read live during their podcast, they don't record it live, but it'll get read by them live as they are alive, and then you can hear it later during the audio version. All you got to do is tweet at them on Twitter I will retweet it again right after this podcast to the post that Joel made. If you like Black Clover and you want to comment on their podcast, this is your chance to do so. So please don't miss it. I also want to plug a YouTube channel called A List Exists. I pulled it up while the guys were talking about sports stuff. It's a really small YouTube channel. It only has 202 subscribers. They have a lot of videos. And most of their videos get roughly the same number of views that we do. But they do, it's a brother combo, 2 brothers, and they do a series called Revisited, where they will take and they will watch a video and then they'll come back together and watch it together and comment on the video as they go. They don't have webcams or anything like that, so it's just the video. I don't normally plug content from people that are just reaction channels, even though we do reaction stuff too, because I know a lot of people don't like reaction stuff. But I want to plug them specifically because during the most recent video they did, they're doing a series right now on Revisited for 5-hour-long video on Persona 5, where the guy that's doing it does it. He misrepresents some stuff on purpose. But they made the comment during that they watch the entire video the way that they do, so they don't ever misrepresent an argument, and so that everybody can go back and see the exact thing the person said, what they're responding to. And I think they do really good in that regard. They go back to try and catch context if they might have missed it. So if you like reaction content, even without a webcam, I think they do a really good job. And so I will plug them. I watched that 5-hour-long Persona 5 video. I'm not going to do a video on it. I'm not going to recommend the video, and I'm not even going to say who made it, because I don't want to send a dog pile. That's the word. On them, but I don't think that's a very good video. So yeah, then the last thing that I'm going to plug, I know everybody's tired. Everybody wants me to stop talking. The last thing that I want to plug is Way of Kings, because I do think those books are really good. I think you should read them. Brandon Sanderson, or Brando Sando, as my good buddy Joel says, is a really good author and does a really good job. So you should check his stuff out. I'm really excited to continue reading those. But anything else we might have missed?
No.
Wear a mask.
Please.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of Final Fantasy 14 videos coming up, along with the other stuff this week, as patch 5.3, as I go through that stuff. Some of that stuff will have spoilers, so I will definitely mention in the description that it has spoilers. But really excited for the patch. DBZ From Memory went up today, so if you want to see me falter trying to recall the story of DBZ, that goes up, or that went up today. Tomorrow will probably be the impressions video that was supposed to go up today, but I uploaded them in the wrong order. And then Thursday will be another ranking, and Friday will be another suit breakdown for Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost On. So please be excited for that.
Gundam Super versus Pro Extreme turn A to circle
Super grind.
on.
I will say I think
No,
this
sir.
From Memory went better because I didn't forget important characters' names. But again, there's a moment in it when I go, how did that person die? Oh no. And realized that I don't remember the Boo Saga very well at all. So if you ever want to just watch me fall apart on camera, that's where you go to do it. With all that said, please make sure. Yeah, I did think Gohan got kidnapped. That's true. Please make sure to. I don't do this very often, but I'm going to ask today. Please make sure to like and share the podcast if you enjoy it. If you have thoughts for new segments, news that we should cover, you can find us on Twitter at our @ that are on screen. You can also email the podcast at thefullspectrumpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any questions there, or you can comment in the comment section down below. And of course, if you want to get in on the Discord, it is one of the only things that is Patreon exclusive. Please check us out on Patreon. Throw us $1. We'll invite you to the Discord. We have a good time. If you want to check out some other things that are on the Patreon that are unfortunately exclusive, there is a supercut of the Miracle Universe watch that terrible movie that Joel, Cat, and I watched as part of their crossover that they did with me for Precure. You check that out. And then tonight, if it goes up the way that it's supposed to, my reaction to the Kamen Rider Saber press conference should go up, which could not go up on YouTube because of copyright infringement. So I will put that up on Patreon, and you'll be able to check it out there. But with all that said, then, I have been Trey.
Until next week, I am Andrew.
And I'm Pattrick.
And we've been the Full Spectrum. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer. Later, everybody.